Welcome to the show. My name is Nathan Barnett, former gravedigger from Spokane, New England, and you are watching Odd Boys with my co-host Tinfoil Tom. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Nathan? After the Tuesday's interesting technical and physical difficulties, we are back.
Yep, we are. And I will admit, we currently have some more technical difficulties that I'm fixing at the moment. I forgot. We're on a new channel. New chat URL needs to be
Oh my
entered.
God, Liquid Amber and
Holy
Psy.
crap. Thank you. We got two new members.
Oh yeah, if we get 10 members tonight, I will reveal exclusive evidence directly from Bob Lazar himself.
Wait,
that confirmed.
What?
That's right. Exclusive evidence from...
You have evidence from Bob himself directly to you?
I do. I have something that Bob has sent to me directly.
What?
I actually do. I have something that Bob sent to me directly.
You talked to Bob Lazar, the man who blew wide open Area 51 and made it known that there's UFOs there.
Oh
Holy
my God,
crap.
Psy, 5!
Psy!
What is that?
And
That's
Nikki!
6, 7? Oh wait, that's two more?
Oh
two
boy.
more, and two more, and I have to reveal the exclusive evidence.
You do. I'm hoping we hit 22 members tonight on our debut stream on the debut channel. Does that make sense? Dedicated channel, I should say, for Odd Boys. This is it, everyone. This is the new home. Tom and I can split everything 50-50 over here. I don't have to do math and give them percents of my earnings. So this is way
easier
better,
this
way
way.
easier. And we've been loading the channel up with clips and videos, so I hope you watch them all.
Also, this way, Nathan has to share that juicy advertising revenue with me.
Yep.
Because before he was like,
he sees all my secrets.
Right, but yeah, I'm telling you guys the back end secrets.
And the secret is that I'm earning $6 a month, and I'm ashamed, and I'm a failed man.
Yeah.
Now he knows it for sure.
I will say you earn more than $6 a month, but it's not much more.
That's not much more.
It's not enough to live in LA. I think
Nope.
it's enough. I would say it's enough to live in the Burger King parking lot.
Yeah, I honestly can barely swing my half of the rent here. It's really sad. It's really sad and depressing now.
This is a whole separate
the chat.
It's a whole separate tangent, but yeah, like
Keep talking.
I will. I will say support your favorite creators if you can with things like Patreon and super chats and all that stuff. I'll tell you straight up, YouTube even for a smaller creator like myself, YouTube used to pay a little bit more in ad revenue, but they like ever since first the adpocalypse and then like more and more stuff keeps happening. Like I know that YouTube, Moist Critical just talked about it actually. YouTube just blocked views from people who use ad blocker. They were counting those views before, so now people are earning even less ad revenue on their channels.
Oh.
So it's just like, yeah, it's a bummer. I think that your favorite creators, and not that you should do anything for money, but it is nice to have a little bit of extra revenue from the content that you create.
There we go. Chat is working. Spam the chat, everyone. Say a bunch of stuff because you're now part of the show.
It sounds like there's a bit of an echo. Do you have the stream on your end, Nathan?
I do not, and I have an earbud in, and I have my good microphone, so I don't know why.
I would say, Emperor Hans, I would say, do you have it open in 2 different places? Because there's literally nothing that could be producing an echo. So do you have your stream open in 2 separate tabs? Because there shouldn't be any echo. Is anybody else experiencing any echo? There shouldn't be.
Spam the chat. Say something, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. Echo, echo, echo. Is there echo? Just the one.
There we go. We got it going.
Yeah, it's just you, Hans. I think you have the stream open twice. I would check all the tabs in your computer. I don't think there's. I think you probably have it open twice.
Yeah, it's Tom's wiener. The sound is bouncing off of it, and it's like a big sound. It's a big sound dish.
Well,
okay, cool.
We're back, everybody. Also, I have the conspiracy here. I think Nathan tried to murder me. Now that
I have to split the revenue, I want to take it all for myself.
Exactly. Nathan wants all of the revenue. So Nathan really likes this sandwich in the Pacific Northwest. It's a vegan sandwich.
It's the best sandwich I ever made.
It's a very good sandwich. It's like a vegan, like tofu chicken salad, fake chicken salad
It's a
type
fake
thing.
chicken salad sandwich, and that company also makes a really good like Italian sub style sandwich with vegan deli slices.
And I think what happened, I went to the Alba and I went grocery shopping, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy. I saw that they had the sandwiches, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy one of these sandwiches. I haven't had one in a while because they're good, they're easy, and I bought it, and that's the only thing that I ate that Alba didn't eat, and that like 12 hours later is when I threw up everywhere. Also, I don't know if everybody knows this, but after I left the stream, I was like starting to get this like wicked headache. And then I went to lay down, and then I was like, I don't feel good. And then I went into the bathroom, and I sat down in the toilet, and I just started having diarrhea, and then I just started throwing up all over myself. So I was just going like, and I was like all like I was trying to catch it so it wouldn't go all over the floor. So I was having diarrhea, and I was puking into my hands, and I was like taking the puke and trying to put it into the trash can.
I wish we had this as an exclusive piece of content to show the members. Tom's body failure.
It was so, and then after I finished puking, my entire like head just got super hot. And so Alba was like, take a COVID test. Like maybe you've, and I was like, I don't think I have COVID. So I did a COVID test. I didn't have COVID. And then I was like, I think it was the sandwich. So in a roundabout way, I think, but also I don't feel that bad because Nathan's internet, that show is atrocious.
The last show we did on the Nathan channel on, was that Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Week,
your internet also didn't work. So it didn't matter.
It was a horrible show, and it was a bummer because that was like sort of like the go over to, and a lot more people watch on the Nathan channel. And I know not everyone's going to come subscribe over here. I think people just watch because it pops up and they put it on, and they don't really care to like actually be watching the show because now we have like the dedicated 25 over here watching. But it's a bummer that it didn't work because it could have been good like advertising for like, come check out the new channel. Nope, this is what you're in store for: crappy internet and a guy throwing up all over himself. That's the odd.
It was really bad, but I do feel better now. Helly said it could be norovirus. I don't think so. So I found these, this is like side tangent, but I found these tests that test for like the flu, RSV, and COVID. So if I'm ever feeling sick, I take one to like cover all the bases. I think it was food poisoning. Yeah. So, which I don't know if norovirus is a symptom of that, but it was very awful. I can't even explain how bad it was. And Alba had like gone, I forget where she had to go somewhere. I think she had to get like do a work thing. And no, she went to go see one of her friends. And I texted her and I was like, I just threw up all over myself and I had diarrhea, but like I've never like, it just came on suddenly. So it was like molten volcano diarrhea just erupting from my anus as I'm trying to catch like the vomit as just projectile vomiting all over my hands. It was awful. It was really bad, but I feel better now.
Thank God
I blame the sandwich.
So we can continue the show on the new channel. This is the debut, episode 1 of Odd Boys.
The debut.
We will be cutting up the past episodes that were on the Nathan channel. We're going to be cutting up all the good moments and like the actual like substance where we cover things and talk about things like in 5-minute chunks. Those will be little independent videos that will be uploaded here. We got some already. Hope you check them out. But this is the first episode of the live show. We do it 3 days a week. I'm sure you all know. If you don't, that's it. Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. This Friday and Saturday is an unusual week because I'm dancing for 24 hours on Saturday on the Nathan channel.
You should just skip that though, so we can do more Odd Boys.
I have a feeling. So, by the way, this morning I looked at my Indiegogo. It jumped a ton. 2 people got the top tier perk of $2,222. So either one person got it twice, but 2 people. I'm at over $5,000 now, so I'm at 22% on the Indiegogo. So if you got a couple bucks, or if you want to spend $100 or something, get a VHS tape, please, or a poster or a can of food. Please go to the Indiegogo and donate if you can.
And this movie,
25%.
This movie needs to happen because I read the script, and there's a part that I am confident that I could play if one of Nathan's famous friends doesn't play it. So it has to happen.
True. We'll see what my famous friend says.
If they say no, I want that line. If not, you'll just see me in the background somewhere, probably. But that's fun too. But
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
I think
yeah, it's going all right. I was feeling very discouraged, not thinking anyone was going to donate, and it's happening. I think the 24-hour nonstop dance, and then I'm going to mention it tomorrow on H3, and hopefully people.
Oh yeah,
you're going to
be on You're going to be on H3 tomorrow. You got to mention. You got to mention this show on H3. This is
I'd
the
like
show
to
that
mention
Ethan
it,
needs
but
to
I don't
know.
want it to seem like I'm just plugging all my stuff. But I will. I'm sure I'll mention this because this is what I do. This is my main job now. You and me on Odd Boys.
I think what you should do, and I mentioned this to you via text, I think that you should, the segue, the lead up, should be you asking Ethan what his favorite mystery or conspiracy is.
Well, he does
like
true crime, so I think we could talk about this show, and maybe I can take a moment. Maybe if we talk about anything true crime, we can take it as a clip and put it over here on the Odd Boys channel. Just
I like
use
Mothman
him as
saying
a thumbnail. Just get
I like Mothman saying need a members video of Tom. Oh yeah, if we get one more member, I'll just read the script for the Dad movie.
Yeah. Well, the vague plot is Dad is in it, and he's in town, and it's kind of spooky. That's the vague plot.
I mean, basically, it's a lot more graphic, but it's also I'll vaguely allude to that. I'll say that there's dead bodies in it.
It's spooky. It gets a little intense. Hey, you want to hear something? I'm trying to work this into the intro, make a little intro thing for the beginning of our videos. When we upload a video, we'll have like a little tag, and I haven't played it before. So here, this is me playing like multiple things at once. So this isn't in edit or anything, but this is gonna be the gist of it. Oh, wait. Oh, it won't do them both at once. So the music would be playing. What is this? The music would be playing, and then you'd hear this.
Me having diarrhea and vomiting all over myself. I did make a noise. I wish I had recorded it. After I finished puking and had the diarrhea, I made a noise. I super wish I had recorded it because it was funny after. I went, oh. I wish I had recorded just the misery I was experiencing.
I don't think this is. Oh, that's not it. That's another. I sent myself the wrong clip. Well, anyway, I can play it for you guys later if I dig it up. I think so. For today's episode, we're going to talk about Bob Lazar, the guy who blew open Area 51. That's like
we are,
story.
and we're only two members away from the super secret evidence that Bob Lazar has sent me.
Oh, he sent to Tom, you guys. He sent Tom exclusive information. 2 members away. I hope someday we can play this for you or whatever. Are you going to read it? Is it a message from him to you? It's a piece of physical evidence. This is insane. Where is this audio clip? What are you looking for? Bummer if I deleted it. Also, I'm looking for an exclusive intro audio clip. Oh. Is it just like a recording of you from 20 years ago saying something wild? Oh, here we go. Videos. This is what I want. No, it's not. It's for our show. It's cool. But I thought I had it on... Oh, wait, is it this? Nope, that's Odd Boys. These are just Odd Boys edits. Okay, I don't have it anymore. Who knows? Never mind. This is the worst programming in the world. You be the judge. Oh, also, while you're doing that, this doesn't count towards the members, by the way. Nathan, did you know you could do this? Look at the chat. Did you know you could do this? I didn't know you could do this. Oh, I can't do it. You have to do it. What? Did you know if you go... Okay, so you are logged in. I found it. You were logged in under Odd Boys. So it says only the owner of the channel can do it. Go click on the money symbol. Mm-hmm. Now go down to membership gifting. I only see super chat and super stickers. Are you logged in under Odd Boys? Yeah, I'm running the show. That's very weird. I click the money, or is it the plus? The money symbol, and then you should see super stickers, super chat, membership, and then membership gifting. Yeah, it's weird because here, let me restore the chat over here. I just found this out the other day, so I was curious if you. I can only see super stickers and super chat.
Really weird. Maybe it's, yeah, I guess you're not logged in. You are able to.
I am. I'm live. I'm looking at the settings. I'm in the settings of the stream. And then in the same window, I'm looking at the chat. So the Odd Boys channel doesn't have access to what even you're seeing. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's really weird. Well, anyway, if you can figure it out, I guess only maybe
Here,
it's because you're logged in under
maybe because I'm in
email?
the broadcasting side of it, and now I'm gonna go look at the stream itself.
Go look at the stream. I'm just curious if you were aware of this. It's actually like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, go under the thing. This is the tech stream, everybody.
Thank.
Okay, now
I'm at the stream.
This is the tech stream, everybody.
And now I'm at.
Now go in there.
Waiting for it to load. Money. Okay, now I see it. Membership gifting.
Now giveaway. You can just give away 10 memberships a month.
We don't get the money. That it comes out of something. Ren said, yeah, you basically get free members.
It doesn't come out. It's just
only
I don't think it comes out of anything.
Owned brand accounts can make purchases on YouTube. I am in the account. What is it saying?
That's very weird.
It's
so
not. It's not letting me do it.
Weird.
Unlock member perks. Only brand-owned accounts can use this. Is this not a brand account? Is that why? Is this channel not a brand channel?
Oh, maybe it's because
to make this my Nathan channel. I can do that with.
Maybe it's because it's through. So this maybe it's
hello
because
G.
It's through,
welcome.
Maybe it's because it's through your like.
I think in the settings I have to go into this channel and make it a branded channel. Like I did that with Nathan a long time ago. I remember Ren did that with me. Okay, well, we'll give away some memberships in the future.
Nathan will have to figure it out. I just found out about this feature.
But until then, if you want to support us,
we're only two away from the exclusive evidence.
And we're going to give you exclusive evidence from Bob Lazar.
Shocking, absolutely shocking evidence about Bob Lazar. But yes, thank you everybody for supporting. We're trying to make this.
Ashen has become a member like 5 times of every time we've had this on.
Oh my God, channel. That means we're only 1 away.
Thank you, Ashen. So he's the best friend. So there's 3 tiers. There's Odd Pal, which is the lower tier. There's Odd.
1 away.
No, that's the 3rd tier. Then there's Odd Friend, Odd Pal, Odd Friend, Odd Best Friend. Eshin just became top tier $10 member. Thank you. Holy crap.
That means Eshin, every time we have a call-in show, Eshin can call in.
Eshin, you can be on the show. If you guys do top tier $10, which isn't that much, you can be on the show. The breakdown of the perks are in when you purchase them, I think.
We lowered it in the hopes that more people would call in.
Yes. We'd like having you call in. That's the Friday shows.
Which won't be this Friday because Nathan is... So for anybody who missed it, Nathan is going to be on H3 tomorrow, and then he's doing his 24-hour dad dance stream on Saturday into Sunday, I guess. Yeah. So you're
Saturday at noon to Sunday at noon.
So this will be the only odd boy. I guess the only odd boys this week. But then next week we'll be back.
Yeah.
On this channel. But then next week we'll be back to the regular 3 days, assuming that Nathan survives his dance ordeal, which I assume you will.
I'm not even worried about it. Here we go. I got the intro clip I wanted to play. This will eventually be on the videos where when we upload a video to this channel, you'll hear this.
Odd Boys members Discord. Yeah, we should just it's just Nathan's Discord for now, Nick, but maybe at some point we should just make a separate one so it's like a separate thing. That's not a bad idea.
You want an Odd Boys whole Discord?
It's not a bad idea.
Let's see if this show and this channel even does any numbers, because I'm not making a Discord for 20 people.
Yeah,
we already have a room in the members Discord, and we already have a room in my free Discord and Tom's Discord. There's 3 options we can hang
True. Yeah, that's the other thing. We need to make sure the show is able to sustain a few months first, and then we'll do it.
Let's hear it. Here we go. A man said,
now, those boys, those are some odd boys right there.
What is that? What is that?
A cowboy man. I'm gonna put that. Those are some odd boys right there, and then there'll be
what is that from?
I have a man record that for me.
Did you go on like Fiverr and pay a Fiverr guy to?
A friend of a friend, a distant friend. I don't even know the guy's name. But a friend's like, I know a guy that's got a good old man voice.
Raspberry is just spamming the exclamation. Raspberry. So for Odd Boys, we have super chat and we have memberships. There is a little, if you're not used to YouTube, and nobody ever has to donate, but it's how we're going to try to keep the show going, and hopefully if we get enough support, we're able to do this more often. If you go into the chat and go down, there's a little money symbol, and that's how you do gift memberships and super chats.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
I was gonna say something about today's show. I can't remember what it was. Something about before we get into the Bob Lazar stuff. Oh, I don't know. My brain just reset. Well, either way, yeah. This is
Sam Elliott would be
what
great.
we're gonna say is, yeah, Sam Elliott. If I could get a voiceover from him, that'd be awesome. I wanted to say we should mention the perks of members, or what we will do if we hit certain members. Our goal has been, since we started, to hit 222 members. Then Tom and I could potentially do this almost as our job if we had 222 members of the YouTube channel, because that is reoccurring money that will come every month, because those are like the dedicated people. And then on top of it, if we get super chats and donations, that would be bonus. So our goal is to hit 222. Then we'll start doing it more than 3 days a week. We might just start doing it like Monday through Friday if people start building up. So if you really like this, please give it a like. Tell your friends that like conspiracy stuff or paranormal stuff, ghost stuff, alien stuff. We want to do it as our jobs. We really like this. And then we also, I might next year, I've been talking to Katie about it, and we might move to Portland. And
what?
we decided not to go to New England. Yep, I'm coming back. I don't want to go. Oh my God, Sai gave $10.
Thank you, Sai. Sai is super supportive of the show. Thank you, Sai.
That's very nice of you. Yeah, so we don't know if we want to go to New England anymore. We have so many friends in Portland. DJ Nicky's there, Piper's there, Tom is there, is the main thing. I have my high school friend Brad is there. My camera guy from Maker Studios is up there. A photographer I know is up there.
Your producer, Brett, is here.
Brett, the guy that produced Milford.
Dragon, wait, that's 10.
Oh,
that's 10. 10 alert.
It!
Should we show the exclusive evidence right now, or wait until we're talking about it?
I think we wait till we're talking about it. Now we know it's coming. My goal is to hit 22 members.
Thank you, Dragon Buddy.
If we hit 22 members this week, I don't know what to do. I'm not eating hot stuff because I died last week when I did that. Derek's here. I don't know if I should do a backflip because I don't want to hurt myself before the dancing stream.
Metaproid is here. Basically, everybody who watches your content is here, which is strange.
Can we hit 69 likes, please?
No. Like I meant in the Pacific Northwest. They're all here.
Yeah. Oh, Metaproid's there. We can have Metaproid on as an exclusive guest because I'm sure he's seen aliens. He can talk about it. So that's our goal. This is lofty goals that I'm about to tell you. 222 members. Also, if I rent a house up there with Katie, we're looking at a place where I could have an office. Tom could come over either in the basement or the office, and we'll do the show together in a studio. We'll build a studio set, and we'll do it in my house for free. But then the bigger goal is if this show really takes off, we'll go rent an office space. We'll set it up. We'll have it like a professional studio. Tom and I will have a place to go every day. And then we want to employ DJ Nicky to be our technician, to have DJ Nicky come and run all the gigabytes. And Tom and I just talk ghosts and aliens. That's the big lofty goal.
That's the much loftier, like the show is actually successful.
Yeah. Like that's like, okay, we are, I won't say H3 because they get 30,000 people watching. And that's unheard of. But if we had like 500 people watching live, even 100, that would be great. So
100's pretty. I'd say probably closer to the 500.
I mean, 100 would be awesome, obviously, but 5 would be best.
But yeah, I love talking about mystery stuff. Nathan loves talking about mystery stuff. It's fun to do, and I think even if the stuff is like a little ridiculous, it's just fun to talk about, and it's like fun to like think about these things.
Yeah.
And it would be amazing. Essentially, this is just a video podcast with like a live audience, and it would be amazing to be able to do this more often.
I know. It'd be a dream come true. So yeah.
Can Tom provide YouTube shorts of him just talking next to a water cooler? I could if we had an office.
Yeah. If we had an office, it would open up the possibilities for like what the show could be in the production and the production value. We could have like segments. We could have a different set over here to do like a different segment of the show. We could cut cameras and go, all right, let's go to Tom over there in weather. And it's like aliens are coming, they're raining down upon us, you know? And then we could have different fun bits we could do in a studio.
These are like lofty
cool.
goals if we had money.
I could also put my arcade games in there. We could make it like a fun place to hang out. And then
I think
when we're having fun, the audience would feel it, I think, better and more.
I think that minimally, Nathan has realized that living in LA is perhaps a bit more of an expense than he should be
I've
paying
always
at this
known
point
it's
in
an
his life.
expense. I knew it was too expensive when we moved to Portland originally. But then I wanted, after the pandemic ended, I was getting a lot of auditions 3 years ago. And I was like, I have to get back to LA. I got to keep doing the acting thing. Now, after being here for 3 years, acting has slowed down again. It's slower than it was during the pandemic, which is weird. So now I'm like, all right, I kind of am over the traditional acting thing. I'm going to make my own movie. Hopefully I can get that with Shudder or A24 or something. But in the meantime, I want to make my own stuff. And it would be much, and now that I've met Katie, and like we want to like have a family and do that whole thing and get a house, it's way more possible to do that in Portland. Houses are way cheaper. You have a yard, you have a basement, you have garages, there's weather. We both miss weather. She's from Florida originally, so she likes the rain. Anyway, it just makes sense to leave. And I think next year we're talking about going to Oregon, and that'd be near Tom, and we could do this in a studio. So that doesn't have much to do with the show, but that just tells you why we are pushing for this, because we want the show to do well, and we would like to make it our jobs, and we would really like to be able to, do it in one building together, not do this Discord.
Make them realize movies are still cool. Movies are still cool, Aladdin, and I'm responding to the movies are still cool. Unfortunately, because Nathan knows a lot of people in the industry, and like I've talked to people. I was recently talking to somebody who's like a pretty big exec for
the Pugs farted. What
gross?
Yellow sausage is always beefing, always
gross. But
dude, it stinks.
To that point, Aladdin, they're just not making things anymore because now they're transitioning, which I don't agree with. They're transitioning to more use of AI and like all this type of thing. Hollywood is kind of dead. And it's like, it's only going to get worse.
There's a lot of telltale signs, and like even me, like auditions are just slowing down. I used to get
they're not happening anymore.
They don't happen at all. Commercials don't use actors as much anymore. It's all animation or AI or voiceover, and it's just like imagery of a product. Everyone's cutting corners, and it's a bummer. So my goal, but the thing is, there has been an uptick in independent cinema.
Yeah,
I got people I know, multiple people have like broken through to the mainstream. The Daniels, who just did Everything Everywhere All at Once, they won an Oscar for the thing, Emmy, whatever, Oscar, or what are they? I don't pay attention to the award shows.
They won an Academy Award. Yeah,
Academy
it's
Award.
It's independent cinema. There's a lot of people coming from
Pixels.
It's all coming from YouTube because all of these people have
those
proven
two dudes that did that new horror movie. Yeah, it's like proven. Like, make your stuff, and then someone will buy it because they don't have to. Then they don't have to produce it. They're like, oh, you gave us a movie. Here's $1 million. So that's my plan with a dad movie. I gotta make it, and then have someone buy it, and they'll go, this is cool. So fingers crossed.
Well, even with something like Shudder, there was that movie. I think it's called Host, but it was all done via. It's a horror movie. It's like 20 minutes long. It's pretty good. You should check it out. But these people during the height of the pandemic, they made a horror movie, and it was all done through. They did like iPhones and like that were just all connected to like rigs, and they made a horror movie, like a short horror movie, remotely, and then Shudder bought it. And it's like
was that during
these
the
people
pandemic?
It was like the height of it. It was like 2022 or something.
Yeah.
But like it does show that these people for like $5,000 just made a movie, and then Shudder bought it, and it got a lot of buzz,
That's who I'm going to hit up. I'm going to hit up Shudder with this because I have a connection to them. So I want to see if they'll buy it first. But then Mubi, M-U-B-I, if you guys ever heard of them, they are trying to compete right now with like A24 and Neon. So
yeah, they bought The Substance, right?
No, Neon. I think Neon did The Substance.
Mubi premiered it, I think.
Oh, did they?
Mubi had some deal.
Oh,
with The
yeah,
Substance.
they did, didn't they?
I think that
Yeah.
because that's where Alba and I watched it. We like rented, we like got the trial for movies so we could watch it.
That woman that directed it, her other movie, which is called Revenge, awesome movie. Everyone should watch it. It's like Rambo with like a 22-year-old girl. It's awesome. And that movie I think was done by Neon. So I think Neon does her films, or at least those two they did.
And now the Dad movie by
I'm friends
Neon.
with Sean Baker. Sean Baker just did Anora. He won an Oscar for that.
Oh, yeah?
It's like all these people I know in my vicinity are making legendary things that are like, now they're like the face of cinema. And I'm like, I'm right there with them. What am I doing? I had to like kick myself in the pants. Be like, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I know what I'm doing. I know how to make stuff. But you kind of like just don't think you should be a part of it. You're like, that's everyone else gets the success. Everyone else gets to make big things. I just make YouTube videos. You kind of like forget like, anyone can do any of this. I just have to go and do it. And now, right now, as we're sitting here talking, I'm going through the hard part of getting people to help me fund it. That's the hardest part. Filming it will be much easier than convincing people to give me $5 to make this thing happen. So if you want to, the Indiegogo is up. I've posted it everywhere on my Nathan YouTube. Please donate a couple bucks if you can to help me make this Dad movie. I'm dancing for 24 hours nonstop this Saturday just to like get people excited.
Everybody,
and get people
please
to see it.
Please, you might see Nathan die.
If
like this
becomes a feature film, literally all of you will be invited. And if I have gotten a big paycheck from that movie, I will pay for a bunch of you to come out to Hollywood and go to the premiere if it does become an actual hour-and-a-half movie. I genuinely would do that. Because all of you are the ones who've been watching my videos for 20 years. And I would really like to thank the people who've helped me get this done. Like all the backers of the movie, if I could somehow get them to Hollywood to come to the premiere, I would do that. Or I would pay for the studio to pay for them, you know what I mean? Because this is like, this is how it's going to happen, is through these people watching this live stream. And that haven't given up on us over 20 years.
You know where you should do the premiere? Is the Baghdad Theater in Portland. That's where they had the premiere of Star Trek 3.
Oh, is it?
And also One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I think, had their premiere there.
I could do it in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, where Keith Abercary is from, where they did the premiere of The Ringer, the Johnny Knoxville movie, The Ringer, with the Fairley brothers. I went to that premiere.
That's where they premiered Drugs.
And they premiered Drugs in the 80s and then the 70s.
Woonsocket is, for anybody who doesn't know, the Woonsocket is like the sketchiest place, and it's so sketchy.
It's actually doing all right now. It's a city on the move.
Did they clean it up?
Apparently.
Wow.
Also, Derek and
Woonsocket.
Mothman, you guys both have to go, and you have to sit next to each other in the front row holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's my one demand. All right, let's actually start the show. We've been talking for 35 minutes.
Yeah, but this is the show. This is what every podcast does.
Yeah, we don't normally talk this long. I don't think before.
This is what every podcast just has ridiculous stuff at the beginning, and then it goes into the thing, and then I'm just explaining podcasts to people who've like people have never seen a podcast. There's 30
stuff, not me
30 minutes
pleading for the world to give me a career.
30 minutes of but that's every Nathan stream is you going, oh my life, where did it go wrong?
It is. This is what I can't do anymore. I need the audience to save me, taking me out of this loop of complaining. I'm a loser. I used to be an actor.
Why am I not respected as an actor in Hollywood? I was
on 2 Disney shows.
Everybody recognizes me from that video in Community. I was on an episode of Community.
I was on Community, for God's sakes. Mm-hmm. I sat in the makeup chair next to Chevy Chase.
He didn't hit you or anything. That's impressive.
Oh, my own brother's calling. Hang on.
This is the show.
Sheffield, you're live on the air on Odd Boys.
Oh no.
Do you have an alien encounter that you want to tell us about?
Well, I guess I'll not share this private information about our creative work.
Seth and I are pitching a show to Adult Swim right now, a cartoon.
Oh.
And he's probably calling me about that. Well, I can call you back after this.
When are you done?
About 2 hours.
Oh, you just started.
A half hour ago.
Okay. Am I on the mic on the show?
You're on the microphone.
Something strange happened to me a little while ago. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Must not have been very memorable.
Well, they might have wiped my memory. They don't want me to remember.
Typical.
True. Neuralized him.
They
What
neuralized
are
you.
you? What are you guys talking about?
We're gonna talk about there's a murder at
Bob
Burning
Lazar.
Man. We're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna main subject is Bob
murder?
Lazar. Yeah, someone got murdered, like actually murdered at Burning Man this year.
Really?
It's kind of sad and scary. Yeah.
I know a terrible thing that happened at Burning Man, but I don't like to talk about it because it's really depressing.
Oh, Seth went to Burning Man multiple times. Did you ever see anyone get murdered?
No, but I think I saw someone die.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't like to talk about it because it's grim.
Were they like on something?
I don't know anything about that, but I'll tell you another time off the air.
Wow. Well, that's
Um,
sketchy.
But something did happen that was weird.
What do you still go out at night and you ride your bike under the moonlight to absorb the moon rays?
It's been a while.
That's what Seth used to do. He used to go out at night like 4 a.m, and he said everyone else was away inside to sleep. The rays would then go to him. He'd get a higher percentage of the moon rays, whatever those do.
The cosmic rays.
The cosmic rays, he would get a higher percent because everyone else was inside away from them. So he would go out to absorb them in the middle of the night. Why were you doing this? And did it work?
He was getting
I had
moon
imagined that
power.
there was intelligence in those cosmic rays that could be, used for learning the secrets of the universe.
Oh.
And I thought the more time I
believe it.
spent out there, the more of the cosmic intelligence would be absorbed into my consciousness.
Do you think when you were doing that, did you benefit from anything? Did you see any changes in your life?
I felt good.
There you go. Proven. It works.
I felt good.
I figured out the cosmos.
And what did you figure out about the cosmos?
I figured out infinity.
What do you mean?
I figured it out.
What's infinity?
Well, what is infinity? Yeah, what is it?
Have you seen the end of infinity?
No, but I got the inspiration for the book that I've been working on about a man who has experienced infinity.
This is segueing into here is my Amazon link.
Oh yeah, so Tom says here's you promoting your new book that's coming
Yeah,
out.
here's segueing right into that.
Because it's top secret. I don't want anybody to steal it.
Oh wow, you hear it here first, everyone. My own brother Jeffed said if you go out at night and you absorb the cosmic rays of the moon, you will be inspired.
Space.
Wait, what?
The cosmic rays of outer
The
space.
cosmic rays of outer space will do good things for you. Go ride your bike in the middle of the night under the moon when everyone else is sleeping on these rays.
But then I decided to stop, and I was getting overdosed, I think, because I realized that cosmic rays are also, potentially cancerous.
What? So they're good and they also kill you?
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword.
How is it?
You got to pay the price for knowledge.
So,
This is it. He's
are you saying
he's overloaded.
if you smoke cigarettes, you also gain knowledge?
No, the cosmic rays give you knowledge.
Why is it that everything causes cancer, even good things?
No, it's just a byproduct of the cosmic rays.
Why?
Because they penetrate your cells and they can cause mutations.
Wouldn't you think it would heal your cells maybe and reverse cancer?
No, it's like what we get sick from.
I would think cosmic rays would be good.
It's radiation.
Well,
Seth's been
you heard it here
Seth's
first,
been watching a
everyone.
lot of. Seth's been watching a lot of InfoWars.
Yeah, I'm getting it right now because I'm sitting in front of a webcam with a bunch of bright lights and YouTube pumping through my pores.
You keep mixing up photons with cosmic rays.
Oh, sorry, everyone. Photons and cosmic rays. Very big difference. I should have known. Why don't you explain the difference between photons and cosmic rays?
A photon is just a particle of energy from light. And the cosmic rays are waveforms of, they can be
magic.
They're different. They're a different spectrum of light. They're not just the visible light.
They're a different spectrum. What spectrum? What spectrum are they on? The autistic one?
X-rays, gamma rays, all the different spectrums of light.
So cosmic ones they educate you and motivate you, but they also cause cancer.
Yes.
Yes, he says it like duh.
Right. What Seth isn't telling anybody is that he was actually on meth.
Oh, what Tom says what you weren't telling everyone is that you're on meth.
No.
No, my own brother's never, just like Tom here. Tom, see, neither of them have ever drank or done a drug. This is what you get,
Nice.
you guys, when you have no substances in your bodies. The moon becomes the substance.
It's not the moon.
Yeah.
You keep talking about the moon.
Because you would say you go out and you see the moon and the rays
It's
would be
the
coming.
it's the
I
cosmic
said I would
energy,
go out
Nathan.
at
What don't you
night,
get?
And I would absorb the
I'm
cosmic
sorry.
rays, but I could sort of hoard them all to myself because there was very few people out there. So I was trying to soak them all up for myself.
So what's the difference
It's
between
just-
moon rays and cosmic rays?
Moon rays, you're just talking about reflected light from the sun.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And what
just-
is the source of the cosmic rays? The cosmos? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Isn't the moon part of the cosmos?
It's just like
No,
solar
but that
radiation.
doesn't
It's like
emit-
solar.
as far as
So
I know,
it's
it
like
doesn't
solar
emit
radiation.
cosmic
He's like
rays.
absorbing it.
But cosmic, like supernovas and black holes and things that emit cosmic matter.
Well, the
and
black holes
energy.
pull in; they don't emit.
Yeah, but I'm saying if the gravity.
So like a nebula or
No,
something.
because they do think something spits out of like a black hole. They get like a funnel.
Yeah, time travelers.
Yeah, spits time travelers out.
You gotta get hit with a time traveler if you're going out there for too long.
But then the real question, my question to you is, to the audience, will you marginally tan if you lay out on a full moon?
That's a good question. I think you would slowly tan because it is the sun hitting you. You'd have to lay there all
Yeah,
the time, every
there-
night.
There's still
Like,
some
does it
light.
scientifically make any difference?
You could probably measure if UVs are coming off the moon. You can probably find that
They
out.
have to be. They have to be.
Yeah, I bet you they are.
Derek says.
Derek
no
says,
tan.
nope, no tan.
I mean, we could
How
always
does he know
Google it.
that?
Derek,
Yeah,
how do you know that?
Yeah, what does Derek know?
Wow, we gotta have my
can
own brother
you
Chevin call in more often and give us
tan
this
from the
amazing
moon?
wisdom.
I think it would be infinitesimal, almost, like it would be like almost undetectable. You'd have to do it on a microscopic level of some sort.
Yeah, you gotta put like a pasty guy out there and see before.
It
and
does
after.
say according to
Wait, Tom's saying the answer. Tom's
according
telling us
to
the
according
answer.
to according to Google, it's no, you can't.
According to Google,
It's
no.
it's a weak reflection, and
Reflection.
it absorbs most of the sunlight it hits, reflecting only 3 to 12% of the light. So it would be very, very difficult to get some sort of tan from the moon.
All right, now Seth knows,
Very difficult, but not impossible.
but not impossible.
I mean, you'd have to sit out for hundreds or thousands of hours,
Thousands
but yes,
of
it's
hours.
possible. It's possible.
That's. I just want to know scientifically, like if there were a case where like you could lay somebody's corpse out there for 10,000 years,
It would decompose before it would tan.
It would have to be a
continue.
continue.
Tan as well.
The only way to make it possible is there would have to be a continuous full moon for years.
Space, it won't decompose.
Yeah, that's what Tom said. You have to put it on the moon for years.
It would have to just be like it would just have
Then
to
it
be a
would
full
decompose.
moon.
You'd have to put it out in space so the moon reflected to it.
Yeah. My question is, since the sun tans you red, would the moon tan you blue?
Oh my God! The sun
No.
doesn't tan you red.
Yeah, it does. It makes your skin is more of a match of the color of the sun.
It's because it's
No,
giving
it's
you a
just
burn.
the
It's because it's giving you a burn. It's like
yeah.
it's you're
so would the
burning.
moon give you a chill?
You're turning into a piece of human bacon from the
But I
sun.
don't think
just
everybody
frying.
gets red when they tan if they have light skin.
I don't know. You be the judge.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that concludes our segment with my own brother Cheffa giving us the cosmic wisdom that we didn't know
Yep.
we needed.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
Don't forget to call me.
I'll call you back.
I need to ask you things.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
You know, that actually was the first call we've had that is
a caller.
in line with what I'm hoping we get. I want these members, or if anyone wants to reach out to us on Discord, if you can't afford a membership, and you're like, I have a really good story, something happened to me, I time traveled, or I saw a Sasquatch, and it kidnapped me, and I lived with them forever, like that lady on Coast to Coast. If you got a good story, we want to hear it, and we want you to call in on Discord. Please tell us your stories, and members will have first dibs on that. Eshin gave us a good story.
I think it's
Recently.
Eshin, Ska, and a Cultorium Historian, I
The
believe
historian,
are.
yep.
I believe they are level 3 members. But yes, all level 3 members get first dibs. We're not going to do the call-in show this Friday because Nathan is going to be on H3 this week, and he's going to be getting ready for his dance stream. But then next week, so you've got a week to get a level 3 membership.
Next Friday, if you get level 3. Also, if anyone wants to like tell a story, if you become another member at level 1 or 2 and you tell your story in Discord, we can read it. If you like type it up. We can also do voice calls. I think that's what the plan is. Text for level 1, voice call in for level 2, and video call in for level 3 is what we were talking about. Of membership.
You be the judge.
So,
oh yeah, what time are you going to be? The Dragon Buddy wants to know what time are you going to be on H3? You better ask Ethan that question. What his favorite mystery is? Then be like, by the way, there's this new show that I'm doing.
Oh yeah, I'll ask him what his favorite true crime story is if he's heard one. Because I've heard he does like true crime. I'm not sure. Sometime in the afternoon. It'll be earlier than this. It'll be like 5 hours before this, or like 6 hours before this.
I almost guarantee that he's going to say, and this isn't drama, I'm not going down the drama road ever, but I all but guarantee if you ask him a question, he's going to make some sort of reference to iDubbbz.
I'm sure we'll talk about iDubbbz. I don't think he's going to always reference iDubbbz for everything we talk about. I don't even know how long I'll be on there. I think I might just be going on there for a minute, just be like, hey, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow. I don't know how long the segment they want to do. I appreciate him wanting to help me out and saying I could come on, because I'd mentioned that I'm doing the 24-hour dance and I just wanted to get the word out. So he's helping me out.
It's very nice. Very nice of him. Thanks.
Yeah, it's
Ethan.
a huge audience they have. So I'm hoping even honestly, even 5% of the people, if they come by and watch, it could help me fund the whole thing tomorrow on Saturday. I mean, because I hit almost 25% right now. So I just need to get $20,000 more dollars, which is a lot of money, sure. But if 20,000 people are watching, that's $1 each. So we'll see.
Here we go.
All right. Can I show you? So I tried to talk about some stuff the other day, and it was kind of a messy stream. So I kind of wanted to get through a couple of these things quick. Maybe talk about them again, so we have a good footage of them. I could cut it up into some videos. Should we talk?
Let's do it.
I think we should talk about the Burning Man update first.
Hopefully, your internet seems to be holding up this week, so I think we're able to actually get clips this week. Finally.
So there's been an update on. We talked about this last week. The man that was found in a pool of blood at Burning Man. His identity has been disclosed, and there's some updates. And this is, this is a long video, but we'll just get the Cliff's notes here.
Homicide of this man that happened.
So somebody was murdered at Burning Man.
Yeah, this guy right here was murdered, and it was just found in a pool of blood, and we weren't sure how if he died on his own or what happened. People didn't know who it was. Mm-hmm. It was just there was a body found. That's all we heard, and it was scary and sad.
Okay, now there's been I actually don't know anything about this case. It didn't quite pique my interest the way that it did yours. So this is I saw it on the docket, but now there's more information about this.
I think it's interesting because it's horrible. But it's interesting.
Yeah, it's horrible
because Burning Man is a place of peace and love and music and dancing and artistry and wearing fun costumes. It's who murders someone there? It's the hippie fest of nowadays. So it's weird.
The only thing that I'll say that isn't weird about it is that there is a lot of drug use at Burning Man.
Yeah, so someone could OD or something. That would be more normal.
Well,
but
no.
Dying in a pool of blood is that's an inner city thing.
But I do think that if somebody was super intoxicated, they get into an argument, I could see a murder potentially happening in a place like that just because of the levels of drug use and alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
That would definitely feed something.
Oh yeah, someone was tripping hard and they were oh, you're a monster, and they stabbed them or something, sure.
Or if somebody was drunk and they get into an argument with somebody else, there is a lot of recreational drug use at Burning Man.
Yeah, oh for sure. That's the whole thing a lot of people do out there. All right, let's see what they say.
The hunt.
Loving the eyebrows. My one eyebrow's growing back. I will put it out there that if we get one more red dono, I'll shave off the other one.
Oh, Tom, it's still out there, everyone. Tom has shaved off his right eyebrow, and he will shave the left if we get a red dono. Who's going to support the Odd Boys and make Tom look like a freak?
There you go.
How much to get you to shave the top of your middle of your head like Dad?
To do the skullet like the Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be doing it in January when I do the movie.
But you don't. So no. You don't count because you had.
No, I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm doing it for a role willingly. It's not even a punishment. And I used to look like that.
You had the natural bald, and then you had a hat installed. So
I'll tell you what, it's a pretty great hat.
Right. So you naturally already had the skullet, and then you had
$12,000 haircut. $12,000 haircut. That's all.
You had hair, and you had AstroTurf installed at some point. So great. It's definitely different if I just have hair and then I decide to cut that and look like a freak. I would do it I would do it at a big enough goal, but to look ridiculous. I also have to. My wife has to look at me like that. So for that to happen, I don't have a number. It would be like if a large sum of money for me to do that.
I would love to see you in your Tom out wardrobe of full tinfoil and a shaved top of your head. Look like a true conspiracy theorist. Why is the chat not showing up? That's my question.
It's showing up for me. I don't know why it's not showing up for you.
On the screen, it's like not there now. Sometimes it like is behind.
I'll put it out there that I would do it, but it would be a pretty large goal for me to for me to look like that willingly. It would be a pretty large goal, and I also think that my wife would be very upset with that. So it would have to be worth it. I'd have to be able to smooth things over with her. It'd have to be like it would have to be like enough to be like, we can go on a vacation now, honey.
We need it.
Well, we'll see. A large sum of money. $120. No, for $120, I'll shave off my eyebrow.
Well, he'll do the eyebrow for $100.
Yeah, I'll do the eyebrow. I'll do the other eyebrow.
Much, though? You gotta give a number.
It would have to be enough to go on vacation to smooth things over.
500?
More than 500.
Come on, 666. Let's say a fun number, 666.
No. I would say to willingly look like that, it would have to that's pretty. It's
1,
pretty bad.
1,000.
1K.
Tom,
I would say
it would grow back.
I would say 1K is a maybe. What 1K is a maybe.
Keep negotiating with him, everybody.
Is Nathan has run away? Yeah, for 2,500 I would do it, Eshin. I'll agree with Eshin. I'll agree with Eshin's thing. That it would have to be like, yes, it would have to be enough to like pay off some bills and have vacation money. $2,500 to have a skullet, I would do that.
2,500? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's not just me, and it's not just it like.
Yeah,
so,
who cares? Your hair will grow back. Who cares if you're ugly?
It would have to be enough to like actually be like, okay, like my hair will grow back. We have enough to go on like a nice vacation now, honey. And like I would keep the hair like that for a while, and then I would shave my head and we would go on vacation.
Johnny, shaving it clean like powder would be better. It would be easier to do than the Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is what's actually embarrassing. Check this out.
What if it doesn't grow back? It would grow. I shaved.
He has the thickest hair in the world.
Yeah, I had really long hair, Sai, for most of the pandemic, and then I had it long for a while, and then I decided to go for like a clean restart, and I just shaved my head, and then it grew back. So,
by the way, okay. We need to get 12 more members to get 22, and I will do something that the chat tells me to do. By the way, to answer DJ Nikki's question, I think it was DJ Nikki.
The sewing machine.
Katie,
wow.
Katie got her sewing machine, everybody. I did it. I purchased it. This is what you all donated for. Here it is. She almost got a pink one, but then she decided to get the gray one.
Wow.
So there it is. Happy wife. Thank you very much.
So whoa. So go back. You just said happy wife, happy life. If I get the skullet, my wife will be unhappy.
But she'll be on vacation, so she will be happy. And when she sees you like that, she'll know no other lady's going to try to snatch you up.
They wouldn't. Have you seen the rest of me? No, no. Nobody else is doing that.
We
I'll agree
gotta
with that
talk
shit.
about this story. We're rambling so much today.
2,500 and I would do it.
2,500. All right, let's get back to the information at hand. This is the update on the man who we talked about last week who was found dead in a pool of blood at Burning Man.
The hunt continues for the Burning Man murderer. Law enforcement is trying to solve the mystery of the homicide of this man that happened in a remote part of the Nevada desert in a temporary city that has vanished as the arts festival has come to an end. The new report on the possible murder weapon found on the scene and what
This poor guy. He seemed like a cool, fun, young guy. And then he goes to like this happy festival and doesn't come back. It's heartbreaking. And shout out to Law and Crime YouTube channel for Law
They've been
and Crime
covering this
Network.
story.
Yeah, for the update.
what the family of the victim is now calling for in hopes this case is cracked wide open. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Okay.
So what is the
This
update?
investigation. You think of the location, a rural part of the desert, a place that has seemingly vanished
see.
as this arts festival has come to an end.
So,
Yeah.
what other things did this person have on their body? What clothing were they wearing? Was it
Yeah, I'd be interested
Was
in the
it something that they
toxicology
specifically
report, like
wore
all that
for-
stuff.
Yeah, we need like a real like update on like what was he on something? How
I
how
mean,
did he
he
die?
seems
Was
like
it a stabbing?
I mean, he seems like he's a party man.
Seems like it, but it was in a pool of blood, so that means it was a wound.
Yeah,
Unless he threw
I just
up
think.
blood or something.
So what is the update on this case?
I
Is
just
what I'm
realized that this
curious
video is
about
really
that.
long, and I don't know how to.
It's just them saying.
like,
It's just them
twist
saying
it.
he died. And it's like, yes, we've asserted that information.
It says a witness
previously.
breaks silence. Let's see if we can find the witness.
postmortem changes of color and rigor match up with what was seen by investigators?
And when you, and I know there's the term out there, overkill, and we don't know if that's what this was, but he did have to be identified by his fingerprints, and they didn't know who he was for a couple of days. How does, knowing that likely he was defaced, just based off of the fingerprint part of it, how does that
His
factor
face
into the
was messed
timeline
up.
that law enforcement puts together?
So his
and if they're
body was
actually able to get
mutilated
a
too.
suspect?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he was murdered, and like somebody tried to. It sounds like somebody tried. If this is the first time I've heard this information, I saw it on the docket. It sounds like somebody tried to cover up the crime.
Yeah. I mean, this
Like
is
they
gotta
tried
be-
to like. It sounds like they tried to obscure his identity, so they wouldn't be able to identify.
with so
him.
many people at Burning Man, and like the evidence is probably so tainted from the dust storms and the sand out there, like they're not gonna figure out anything.
And it's remote, so it takes time to get out there.
Yeah.
To like,
and the body's gonna like decompose by the time they get it out of there and bring it.
It's
to
so
the
hot.
lab.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hot, so there's going to be an acceleration in decomposition.
I don't know if this is the
without
witness.
it sounds like he was murdered. If I to jump to conclusions.
Yeah. I'm just skipping through here to see. Okay, let's see what she says here.
Dr. Nada Rutherford.
Oh
the
yeah,
coroner for
real
Richland
quick,
County-
CC game. Also, hello CC Games. Yeah, that's super sad. Did you hear about Billy from Game Chasers? He had brain surgery.
Yeah, I did hear about that like a few weeks ago, and he was recovering, I think, right?
Yeah, I saw the post about it. Yeah, I hope I've met Billy a couple times, and I hope I wish for an expedient recovery for him.
Yeah, me too. Good luck.
Oh, he
to him.
passed? Oh my God! No, that's sad.
I didn't hear that.
I saw that he was recovering. He just posted.
That's what I saw. Oh no. Oh, it's
Dang.
so sad.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. This is the
he
first
did
that
a
we're
Keith Apicary episode.
Yeah, this is the first that I'm hearing about it. I saw he posted that he was out of surgery a couple of days ago. Dang, that's sad. He was a nice guy.
Oh God! Thanks for the update, CC. That is so sad. Poor Billy. Oh, his poor family.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, well.
Oh, you saw him in
sad.
July, CC.
That's sad news. Yeah, Billy was a really nice guy. That's really sad.
Yeah, that's a real freaking shame.
Oh, Game Chasers posted a couple. Yeah, that's sad. This is the first I'm hearing that he passed. Yeah, rest in peace, Billy.
He was like young, wasn't he, in his 40s?
Maybe 50. He was older than we are, I think. But like, he was still pretty young. Like maybe no older than 50.
What was the brain surgery for? Like, what was he doing?
I think he had cancer.
Oh, in the brain?
He had to have like something removed.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
he had like a pretty serious illness. For anybody who doesn't know who Billy, I know that not everybody does. The Game Chasers were like a video game retro collecting channel, and they put a lot of videos out. Billy edited everything, put out like 100 episodes of their show. But yeah, like I know that Nathan knew him a bit better, but like we've both both of us have filmed videos with the Game Chasers, and they've always been cool with both of us. So yeah, that's really sad.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, very sad.
Wow.
Well, I wish I wish the best for Billy's family, and yeah, sorry to hear.
Cancer. Gosh dang it, that's sad. Poor guy.
It's a really hard thing to.
Wow, what a fast-moving thing! If you saw him in July and now he's passed away.
But that's the whole thing. Is like with something like that, you don't like you could physically be feeling like okay or maybe a little off, and like then you go in for like a CT scan and they realize like your body will keep you going for a while, and then like I assume, like I'm making an assumption, but I assume that he went in for like a CT scan and they were like, yeah, you have to have this operated on.
Yeah. Dang.
But yeah, really sad.
Well,
oh, my camera's frozen.
Oh,
yeah, the camera freezes if Nathan leaves the screen.
Yeah, hang on. There we go. I have a lot of windows open. Thanks for the update, CC.
Yeah, thanks, CC.
That. I got another video here that this will be easier to get a solid update on this guy. So I was just looking, and it looks like the man is Russian, who was murdered.
Oh yeah, Scott. Before you do this, I agree with Scott. Yeah, a lot of us are pretty close to his age. I even like this is like side story before we get into this. My wife noticed like a weird blob on my back 6 months ago, and they biopsied it, and then they biopsied a few areas on my thing, and I had I had to have a bunch of skin cancer removed. So like I just had that done like 2 months ago. So you never know. You should especially
always
as you're getting older.
Go to a dermatologist, get your physicals, do it all.
Yep.
Human bodies are so fragile. And eat vegetables. That's what I'll say.
Yep.
Well, glad you made it. You're still here. Tom can't be stopped.
I have some pretty big scars, but I'm grateful that that's the worst of it, is that I have a bunch of scars now.
Yeah. That's not so bad. All right, this is a quicker update on the man. He was a Russian guy, the man that was found dead at Burning Man.
Out of their minds, and we've seen this. How many times have we seen methamphetamine-related murders, Mark? I mean, how many? I'll bet you that you personally have handled.
So is he saying that? Is he saying this guy was on meth?
I think he's saying that's a very good, culprit. But
this is
someone on meth.
This is what I was saying though. Is like Burning Man is like notorious for. I know that Seth doesn't do. I know that Seth doesn't do drugs, and Seth went to Burning Man, but like. Most of the people who go to Burning Man are highly intoxicated.
Yeah.
Where either meth is on board the killer, meth is on board the victim.
I'll tell you, I've got an alley behind my building in downtown LA that is formerly called Lebanon Alley. I now call it Fentanyl Alley.
Anyway,
there's probably been 10.
He's like, yeah, I got meth heads all around me. Not part of the story. Move on.
So they're theorizing that like maybe somebody, and that's the thing, like meth is very common now. Yeah. So I think, are they theorizing that somebody potentially on meth murdered this guy?
When you're on meth, aren't you just kind of like sitting on the ground like this, like aren't you like
people can get really I'm trying
heroin.
Meth is like it's like I believe it acts sort of like speed. Like they used to give that to I think that they gave that to German soldiers in World War II.
Oh, it makes you hyper. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what the Nazis were on meth.
Right, yeah, like I think that there was like a whole like I think that like it has like history behind it. And I think that people taking it I think it's acting as like speed. It's like keeping people awake and stuff like that.
Old enough to remember PCP. And
yeah, meth is speed, exactly.
Right, isn't it amazing? I had, on my caseload in homicide one time, I had I think I had 18 kids for whatever reason, and a lot of these design
activates.
So this is just
give me an update.
It's just
you guys are just talking about meth.
Eric Younger used.
I'm glad to see that you carefully
as it
went through these clips.
This was a 3-minute. I'm like, okay, this says it's an update on Burning Man.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't seem like there's anything definitive. It's just like they're theorizing.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. This week.
There's ABC News.
Where is this? ABC. But this is 6 hours ago. Okay. Thank God. Here we go.
Investigators say they have found the weapon they believe was used in a killing at Burning Man last month.
So he was
the
murdered.
Pershing County Sheriff's Office says it's still working.
Let me start that over.
Investigators say they have found the weapon they believe was used in a killing at Burning Man last month. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office says it's still working to identify the suspect in the murder of Vadim Kruglov and has received hundreds of tips. It also shared a photo
killed
of
with a kitchen knife.
Is identical to the one used in the deadly stabbing. Now,
so he was
stabbed. Brought a knife. What do you use a knife like that for at Burning Man? I guess if you're cooking your food, because you do bring food out there.
It's just, I mean, this isn't, people go in RVs and stuff. Like, this is just a kitchen knife.
Yeah, I guess it's not odd that that's there, but
no,
like,
this isn't.
Almost feels like that's taken to be a murder, device.
No. I mean, people are there in RVs. Like, this is just a kitchen knife, but I mean, obviously, it's still a large knife. I don't think it's that weird that it was there, but it sounds like he got into it. Like, if I'm jumping to a conclusion, it sounds like he got into it with somebody who potentially had like an RV or something. And
the person, for some reason, out in the desert had their knife on them outside of their domicile. Like, why would they bring that out there? But yeah, maybe it was inside someone's tent or something where they were cooking food and they got mad and he stabbed them.
That's what it sounds like.
And then he dumped the guy out in the desert. But like the thing is, how do you get away with this? Because no one's asleep there. 24 hours, there's people up dancing all the whole time. How do you get away with this?
Yeah, I'm curious if there's any witnesses.
Impressive for the murderer.
I'm not surprised that like this makes sense. Like somebody brought their kitchen stuff for the camping. But yeah, I'm surprised that there's not really any witnesses that I've seen so far. It seems like somebody would have seen something.
The guy's name is Vadim Kruglov, and he's a Russian man. That's the name.
In the picture provided, that knife still had its sheath on it. A $10,000
I guess it's
reward
dark.
has been offered for information.
$10,000 reward.
Leading to an arrest.
Wow.
Okay, so he was murdered, and there's potentially drugs involved.
Yeah, that's the newest update on the Burning Man murder.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very sad. Hopefully the culprit is found.
So do you want so we can have it for a clip? Do you want me to show you the alien growing out of the meteorite? We could go through it quick. Everyone sort of saw that last week.
Yeah.
But my internet was chugging.
I'm very surprised your internet is still. Also, can we just say every single episode, I need everybody in the chat to also make sure you like the stream, by the way. Can I just say, and I hope that everybody in the chat is also impressed by this, you're still doing the show. This is impressive. I
said I would do it till the end of the year. I'll do it till December. And if we don't have any members and no one supports, I'm out of here because I can't waste my time. I got to support a baby someday and my wife. So I got to do things that will benefit.
Anytime you last longer than a single episode of anything, it's a miracle.
I love Odd Boys. I genuinely like doing this show. It's really fun. I look forward to it. So if people want to see more, please, super chats and members. That's the only way to keep this going.
Look at how impressed the chat is. There's so many people in the chat who are just like, they're like, wow. Like, I expect to see every episode lots of people saying, go, Nathan, go.
Sai is our #1 supporter. Sai, you just want to, we should just sell the channel to Sai.
I mean, if Sai donates enough.
It's yours. You get this gem of a channel. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sai. All right, so Tom, I gotta show you something that is mind-blowing. Aliens are here on Earth, and someone in where is this guy from?
More of your careful research.
Stand by, I don't want to say the wrong country. Oh, and someone from Panama is harvesting them. Let me show you. Yeah, it's crazy. There's an alien coming out of a meteorite, and it's insane. Here, this man, it blew up. It got like millions of views on TikTok. This guy, let's just let it get broken down here. So 25BH explains, this dude finds a meteorite. It's a weird looking rock. The rock burns through leaves. It's got some sort of like radiation to it or acid or something. And then all of a sudden, this like weird tentacles start coming out of it, and this thing starts growing. It's freaking bonkers, and it blew my mind. Get ready.
Okay. Show me,
because they're coming for you.
Show me the video. I need to see this exclusive information here.
We have some very disturbing footage of what is rumored to be some type of
Brace
alien
yourself.
entity or bacteria that a man who goes by the name of Kin apparently found in
There he
Panama's
is.
Pedregal district. His video has been making the rounds online.
All right, let's
Inside
just
that
get to
safe,
it. AI voice.
the man who filmed
Here it
it
is.
says it came from a meteorite he found in Panama. Some people
Look,
believe
it's
him.
moving.
Others say it's just a fungus.
And it's
or maybe
not
even a
CG.
hoax.
You can tell that's real.
Either way, millions have watched his story unfold.
It's
and he's
creepy
been
for sure.
They show it again. You can get a good shot of it moving. It's freaking weird.
documenting it all on his TikTok page.
And then I can go to his TikTok and show you. Like, it's wild, dude. And the guy was just posting things of his dog before. Then he finds this thing, and this is like, he puts like 12 videos of this up, and the whole internet is like, Blur?
Yeah,
started
it's
on
creepy.
August
I wonder.
when a man who goes by Kin claimed he discovered a
I wonder
small
what it is.
silver-colored
So there it
rock
is. There's the
inside a fiery
meteorite.
crater in the Pedregal district of Panama. He called it a meteorite. In his first videos, he placed leaves against the rock, and they appeared to burn on contact. That got people wondering if it was radioactive. A week later,
My theory is, if this guy's faking this, that does look like it could be spray painted. He might have put like some sort of acid or some sort of chemical on there, you know, some sort of hairspray type thing that would then burn through a chlorophyll leaf. I don't know what, if any scientists out there know what would burn through a leaf chemically, then we have our answer. Bleach maybe or something like that. I don't know. But
It's creepy. I think I would need beyond a TikTok account. I would want some like actual like scientific analysis.
well, you're going to get some scientific footage in a minute because this thing starts growing.
Scientific TikTok footage.
growths began to push their way out.
Look at that.
At
Look at
first,
that.
They were thin, almost like strands of fungus. But they didn't stop. Day by
Look,
day,
it's moving. The green one's
growth
moving.
stretched further, twisting and
It's
curling
creepy.
as though they were searching for something. What started as a few
And then
dark
there it
lines.
is. So my theory is those green ones are like the shell it's like coming out of, and the tentacle comes out of that because then it becomes darker. So this is like it being hatched. Like this is like the hatching.
Right.
The pod, it's growing.
And this man's doing the right thing by just letting it grow on his kitchen counter near his like food.
Well, he's taking precautions. He put a bowl over it.
Oh, he put a piece of parchment paper down in a
So
lid.
then he won't get like, you know, contamination and have to be put into
I've seen this
quarantine.
before. I've seen this before. This is the movie The Thing, where you shouldn't be doing this stuff, but this guy is
Good
just
movie.
like he's like I put down a piece of parchment paper. I'm clearly not going to be contaminated and be assimilated into whatever this being is that's growing from beyond the stars. This grand scientific achievement.
It's what NASA would do. He's put some safety paper down. So
Never a straight answer.
Here we go.
Twisting
Classic.
and curling as though they were searching for something. What started as a few dark lines soon spread across the
It
entire
really,
surface of
oh,
the
it's
rock.
moving up top.
Within
Ew!
just a few days,
Look at this.
the silver stone was barely visible at all. The massive tentacles grew thicker, blacker, and more tar-like in appearance.
I like that it's just
It
in
seemed
his
to be
kitchen.
feeding off its
Yeah,
surroundings.
and he
doesn't
took
even
the
have the lid.
bowl off. He took the bowl off.
Yeah, it's just like the guy's like the guy. He's like, I know, maybe I should eat it.
Maybe I
Well,
should
maybe
let
I
it.
should-
Maybe I should let it breathe. It takes
Here,
it
let
out.
me just lick it real quick and see what happens.
What
I
does he
mean-
have it on? Like a cardboard plate?
It's like it's just like a mat for like a counter. It's like a
No, but
slip
what's the
mat.
circle? What is the bowl thing?
Oh, it's like a potter for like you put a plant on it.
Oh,
It's like
is
a
it
clay pot. It's like
clay pot.
Yeah, it's like a clay pot. or that's what it looks like. It looks like a clay
It
pot
looks like it's like
base.
some sort of cardboard lid for like takeout, for like a quinoa bowl.
Whatever this is, having this in his kitchen is insane.
I know. It's like right next to his Burger King.
He's like, oh,
he's just eating when he's like filling this thing. Oh, this is getting big. Oh,
I don't want the alien to get lonely. I'll put it in bed next to me.
Yeah. If as long as I put the bowl on top, it won't crawl off the counter at night and suck down my throat.
Right. It's like the
seeds in my bowels.
The hazmat scientists or military are going to show up and wonder what he's doing. He's like, I don't know. I put a piece of parchment paper down and now I'm dying.
What happened? What happened to you? Didn't you put parchment paper down? I did.
He's like, oh, I took it. Right. They're going to come in with a Geiger counter and be like, sir, this is, it's off the charts. And he's like, oh, I forgot to put the parchment paper back down.
Everyone knows that's what stops an alien invasion. Freaking parchment paper.
It's creepy for sure. I mean, it just looks like mold or something.
Yeah, it's weird that it's growing. But let me say something here. So when you watch it move here, it does kind of look like someone has their hand up it and they're just going like this. It's like moving the same. It's repetitive. See how it looks like it's moving as one mass and it's getting like squished into itself?
Yeah.
It does feel like someone's hand's up there and they're just kind of wiggling it as much as they can. Because it's not like moving independently in one side, like one tentacle anymore.
Oh, good. He put a fishbowl over it.
The whole thing is moving. Yeah, now he's using precaution. This guy's now using science to prevent his own demise.
Right.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's because it's growing off the plate. So he goes, uh-oh. Couldn't put something. Oh, and took a dump.
Yeah, it looks...
That was no longer just attached to the rock.
Okay.
But becoming its own separate organism.
So it's separating.
Kin said the growth became too much to handle, so he locked it away in a safe.
So he puts it in a safe.
Oh, good idea.
Not destroy the thing or flush it. It'd be so funny if he flushed it and like takes over the city. It grows in the sewers.
He's just like, oh, I put it in this safe. It can't possibly grow out of this thing.
Aliens can't figure out the combination, so they can't get out.
It reacts to light, growing faster whenever it's exposed.
I also like that for extra spooky effect, he's turned off the lights and he's just using flashlight.
Well, there's a reason now, because they just said, the AI voiceover just told us it's growing from the light he realized, so he has to put it in the safe to keep it stifled.
I mean, this looks like a blender, like a blender effect.
It doesn't look like Blender to me. It looks practical. It looks like a real thing. I don't think this guy... It would be easier to do this practically, in my opinion, to have it look real. Blender would look too fake. This is a real environment for sure.
I don't know, man. Blender looks pretty real now. It's like I think we're
you
seeing.
You can see the flaws. No, this. You'll see. Here, watch.
In one post, he admitted he was scared, even thinking at one point it might have escaped.
The wall, like the
when exposed to light,
here.
The organism seems to react.
And the dirt on the counter.
The tentacles stretch and pulse, almost rhythmically, as if responding to some invisible signal. It doesn't move all at once,
really creepy.
But in waves.
It's creepy.
Parts of the mass tightening and releasing.
I'm not sold on it, but it is creepy. It's cool.
Moments,
so here's my thing. If you were to fake it moving in the safe, you'd have to drill a hole in the back and put your hand through it or a stick and then puppet it and wiggle it. A safe is like, how are you going to drill through a safe? That is way too much effort and production for a TikTok video. That's what makes me think, okay, he's probably not puppeting it himself through that. Maybe he has a motor or something in there that's moving. Like, honestly, even like a dildo or something that moved weird. You could just stick it in this thing and it would just move. Or a head massager. It's anything. But it is creepy and impressive.
Definitely a dildo.
It could be a dildo. This thing might be an alien dildo, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Curl outward.
But look, it moves.
In some moments, it almost looks like breathing. Slow.
And what did he put in here? Like a toy? Is that like a Burger King?
Was why he kept it.
It looks like a miniature NES right over here next to he's giving it company.
It looks like the thing next to it looks like it looks like the thing that holds like drill bits.
Yeah, it's something, or like a rechargeable battery pack to put double A's in and recharge them. You can see it closer up. I don't know what that thing is.
He said whenever he shined a light on it, the growth accelerated. That it only felt safe when the room was completely dark.
It's so unique looking,
Watching closely, the movements don't feel random.
And it's growing up the back
wall.
wall.
The impression of something alive, something adjusting to its environment.
I need to look at
it's a plant,
Kin Panama. I can't just take
Hey,
your
I'll-
word for
I'll
it.
put
here.
it up.
Fungus, or something else entirely.
Let's look at
The
this.
footage is unsettling.
Oh wait, watch. So watch
because
this.
Whatever this thing is has any correlation to those rabbits that were growing tentacles out
Remember
of their
this?
face a couple months ago.
You remember this? Nightmare? Is this the same alien?
Whoa.
People are wondering if this is that same being. It looks very similar. This is the most messed up looking thing I've ever seen. I hate it.
But who knows?
But who knows? You be the judge.
Whether this footage is real
That's
or not,
impressive. The
it's
moving of
definitely
that.
disturbing and creepy.
Someone said something in the
And
chat.
I
I
guess
think that might have been something. What is that wiggling thing? Could have been a squid. He could have cut off some tentacles and just dropped it in. And then when they're dead, they still move like a worm. Is that what it could be?
According to this, I'm looking at, apparently this is like a whole thing. Somebody, I just randomly clicked on this. It's this website called Columbia One. This article came out a couple days ago. Some people are saying that the alien entity was in fact the devil's fingers or octopus stinkhorn, a fungus that initially resembles a white egg or stone. As it matures, the outer shell splits, releasing several long red or black tentacle-like arms that give it a grotesque alien appearance. I mean, that sounds like what it was, is that this weird fungus.
So here's his TikTok, and this is like when he starts it here. This is the meteorite. It's a really unique looking rock. It definitely looks like some sort of alien texture. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's whatever this fungus is. That's what I thought it was. Other
That
people
looks
have
like
said
metal.
Other people have said it just looks like a potato painted silver.
There's that theory as well. One of these videos he has, this has 13 million views, the one with the safe. There's another one I think that has even more.
It's very creepy. It's cool.
13.5 million views here.
I think it's probably, at least in those early videos, I think it could be that fungus. If it initially resembles an egg or a small rock, I think he got the fungus, painted it silver, and then it sprouted. The later videos, I don't know what that could be. I think the later videos could have been done in something like an After Effects program like Blender, and like used like real footage, like masked it, and then like inside the safe he used like Blender footage to make it like this weird alien tentacle thing.
So that's moving. What did they say this was?
It was a fungus. The people online have said that it's a fungus.
It's a fungus you can like purchase and get?
I mean, I'm reading it just as right. I'm reacting in real time. Apparently it's like a real thing. It's like some people have argued that it's a fungus called devil's fingers or octopus stinkhorn.
Well, that sounds sketchy.
I mean, dangerous never stopped the internet, Nathan.
True. Well, there you go. Aliens
very
are
creepy.
Taking over Earth, and you saw it here first.
It's also definitely real. It's not a.
Well, yeah,
I think
we
that's
saw it. You can't see.
Yeah, we
You
saw
can't
it.
see what's not real.
It can't possibly be faked. This absolutely has to be
No.
real, and anybody
He
who says
picked it up.
differently is wrong. Yeah, he
I
picked it
saw
up.
his human hands pick it up. Odd
He put
boys.
a bowl-
Case closed. We solved it.
He put a fishbowl over it. It's real.
We got to take over for that guy on the History Channel that is now the current meme for when you search aliens. It's just him with his hair and it says aliens. I don't want to say it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get us to be the new aliens guys, Odd Boys. You heard it here first.
Well-
Odd Boys say it's aliens.
It's very creepy. It's very cool. I have my doubts, and I would need somebody to do real scientific analysis on it.
Yeah.
I have my doubts, but it is cool.
Yeah. I want to say that Jory or Yori, I never remember how to say it, in the chat, if you can tell me, Jory, I always forget how you want it said. Jory sent a message, a post in Discord of an interesting thing that I think we should talk about in the next show, next week.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I never heard this theory or this story, whatever you want us to call it. It's very fascinating. There were subliminal messages in the national anthem. Have you heard this?
No, I haven't heard this.
It's pretty interesting. You know, like on the TV channels at like 6 a.m. would like start the broadcast or end the broadcast or whatever, and they play the national anthem, and then like Channel 5 would just go like dead because like broadcasting didn't happen 24 hours a day in America back in the 60s.
The young people don't understand that. Back in the day, so what Nathan is talking about, it's all the young people. Back in the day, television networks had a set amount of programming per day, and at a certain point, it went off the air.
At like 1 a.m., it went off air, and it was just like a screen that said like "Come back tomorrow" or whatever.
Well, it
like,
played. It would always play
offline.
It would always play the national anthem, and then it would show like stock footage of like, you know, you'd see like soldiers, and you'd see like the American flag, and you'd see like a town doing a parade, and it'd be like, Cable Channel 5 wishes you the end of another great broadcast day. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's see if
this
I can
was
show an image of it.
This was back in the old days, back when there was broadcast television. It's so weird that was and then eventually, you know, we went to 24-hour programming.
So this is what they would show. We can talk about it later. But it's like national anthem. This is the actual video we're gonna get into.
This is one of them. Like every station had their own, and like some of them played some different footage. But yeah, it would show like, you know, it'd show the White House, it'd show like Congress, it'd show the American flag, it'd show like a family like having a picnic. It would just like show a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah. And then it would show like this, basically. Where is it?
Well, then it would be like it would do that, and then it would go off the air.
Yeah, it would show this. And then like this is what the TV would be displaying until the programming began again. But
with
yeah,
like the 5 a.m. news or whatever.
There is a conspiracy and a theory that there were subliminal messages in that national anthem that we'll have to get into that next week. It's a whole other thing. I didn't want to slow us down. We got to get into Bob Lazar.
I believe it. Well, this is the main story of tonight. Nathan, are you familiar with the Bob Lazar story? What do you know about Bob Lazar?
I am. I do know about Bob Lazar. I know that Bob Lazar in the 80s was the big first whistleblower to be like, there's UFOs in Area 51. There's stuff going on they're not telling you about. He didn't like it. He was the guy that got hired by the government because he was making rockets at his house. They're like, you're smart. They're just kind of pulling any smart person they could to come over, test stuff, figure stuff out, reverse engineer all this crashed devices and alien technology they had to try to advance themselves technologically. And Bob Lazar did that for a while, and then he saw all that stuff and he blew the whistle, and I'm shocked they didn't murder him. They did try to discredit him, and the guy has said a lot of stuff that they said he was crazy, and now a lot of the things he has said have come out to be true, and it's been proven that this guy is not a liar. That's what I know about Bob Lazar.
All right, well, I can now present to you my exclusive...
But Tom knows all the details, so let's have Tom explain to us everything.
I think I'll tell the story, and then we'll watch some clips that believe what you want. I think that it's some good stuff, but I'll give everybody an abbreviated version of the Bob Lazar story. Then we'll watch some clips, then we can discuss. But let me show you this evidence really quick. Are you prepared for this? This is from Bob Lazar himself, by the way.
Should I put anything on the screen? I have the Bob Lazar rocket video, and then I have Bob Lazar explains reason behind FBI.
No, I don't think so. I'll show you this exclusive information. Hold on one second.
Okay. Oh, the exclusive information that you got from Bob. I don't think he can hear me. I think Bob sent Tom some information.
Okay.
So this is the information that Bob sent you? Is that what you're saying?
Technically, he sent this to me. This
and
is
because
from
we
Bob
got
Lazar
because
himself.
we got 10 members, you're now revealing this.
I'm showing this on screen. Nathan, do you see what I'm showing you?
Oh my gosh, that's his drawing.
This is it's got Bob Lazar's signature. Bob Lazar has sent me, this is a sketch of the craft and the anti-gravity propulsion system that Bob Lazar reverse engineered. As you can see, this is groundbreaking information. So for anybody who is wondering what Bob Lazar saw at Area 51, this is the craft and the anti-gravity propulsion drive that he worked on. This is from Bob Lazar himself. This confirms everything.
And he did a little heart around the whole thing.
And he did a little heart around this, but this is actually from Bob Lazar himself.
Did you order that from him?
Mike Lombardo ordered it for me, and he just So
That's
thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mike Lombardo, for getting in touch with Bob Lazar.
And thank you, Bob Lazar.
And thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob Lazar, for sending that over.
Yep, it's confirmed, Hans. There we go. Aliens is real. Unbelievable.
Well, I guess I'll start. Okay, so are you ready for the abbreviated version of the Bob Lazar story?
I sure am.
As I know it.
Give us the juice.
Okay, so this is the Bob Lazar story. So for anybody who doesn't know, Bob Lazar, I believe one of the most famous stories to come out of the Area 51 military base. So, and we're going to go through Bob Lazar. This is Bob Lazar's story. You can believe it. You cannot believe it. I believe he's one of the more credible whistleblowers or people that claim to have worked at Area 51. I think Nathan is going to show a picture of Bob Lazar as I'm talking. So in the early 1980s, a young Bob Lazar claims that he worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory as a physicist. And this story there's been a bit of conjecture regarding his actual employment, but I'm going to send this to Nathan. This came out after the military claims that he didn't work at Los Alamos, and Los Alamos is a very famous research facility. Picture Half-Life and Gordon Freeman. That was basically what Bob Lazar was. I sent Nathan right now. This is the actual employee directory that even though the military and the government initially did deny that Bob Lazar worked at Los Alamos, this is the employee directory that does show his name in the employee directory as working at the Los Alamos base. So very, very, very interesting that it was denied that he worked there. And then there is there is information that shows that he was in fact employed by the Los Alamos base. I also am sharing with Nathan, this is Bob Lazar's W-2 from the United States government of naval intelligence. And this does show that he received a paycheck from the United States government, even though the United States government says that they never heard of Bob Lazar and Bob Lazar didn't work for them. I've sent Nathan his actual W-2 from the United States Department of Naval Intelligence that does show that at some point Bob Lazar did work for the United States government. So I think that does give him a little bit of credibility there. So in the 1980s, a Los Alamos newspaper featured him for installing a jet engine in his car. And supposedly this is what got him on the radar beyond working as a physicist at the Los Alamos lab. So in 1982, Bob Lazar meets Edward Teller. And do you know who Edward Teller is, Nathan? Hello, Nathan?
Oh, sorry. I do not know. I do not know who Edward Teller is. Also, I was showing that. I just showed your images. I don't know if you saw that. So yeah, he did work for Area 51 and the Gov, it seems.
But like the strange thing is that the government did say that he didn't work for them.
What's the guy's name? Edward?
Edward Teller. So Edward Teller is the father of the hydrogen bomb. Mm-hmm. And the hydrogen bomb, as far as I know, has never been dropped. It's been tested, but it hasn't been dropped in like warfare. So Edward Teller was doing the
Safdie brother played him in the Oppenheimer movie.
Very famous scientist. Teller was visiting Los Alamos to give a lecture, and Bob Lazar basically asked his bosses at the time, "Hey, I would like to go watch the lecture. Can I go watch the lecture?" And his bosses said, "Sure, you can go watch it." And he went outside, and Edward Teller was reading the newspaper, and the newspaper for that day had a story about Bob Lazar as this crazy guy who he put a rocket engine in his car. So Bob Lazar struck up a conversation with him, basically saying, "Hey, that story you're reading about, that's me."
So Edward, the guy who helped create the freaking bomb with Oppenheimer, was talking to Bob Lazar?
Right, and like
this is the 80s? Is this the 80s?
This is the early 1980s.
Okay.
So, and Bob Lazar meets him, and as he meets him, he's like, "Hey, that newspaper you're reading?"
Oh, he worked in the Manhattan Project, this dude?
Yes, and Bob Lazar met this guy while the guy was reading a newspaper that was talking about Bob Lazar installing a rocket engine in his car. He was reading the local paper, and the local paper was talking about Bob Lazar, and then this like developed a connection between the two of them.
Are there images of that local paper?
That I didn't find, but I'm sure you could find it if you look for it. It's just the Los Alamos newspaper, or that local newspaper. But I did include a video, if you want to show that video, of Bob Lazar's rocket car. If you want to show his rocket car, that's in the doc. So Bob Lazar put a jet engine in his car. So, you know, believe what you want, but Bob Lazar was, at a bare minimum, he's a pretty talented inventor that managed to put a rocket engine in his car. So basically, a few years go by. Bob Lazar had left Los Alamos, and he started putting out feelers for jobs. One of his connections was reaching out to Edward Teller to say, "Hey, I've left Los Alamos. I'm looking for a job." And Edward Teller remembers this conversation that he had with Bob Lazar some years earlier. This was a few years later, so in the late 80s. And then he puts Bob Lazar in touch with the United States government. And I believe that the company he gets put in touch with is called EG&G. And EG&G is a defense contractor who was the company that was working at Area 51. So this is how, through this like loose connection with Edward Teller puts him in touch with EG&G, who gets him a job as like, remembers him as this crazy mad scientist guy from years before, and gets him a job working at S4. And so S4 is the site that is on the Area 51 base. And that's the site that Bob Lazar was hired for. It was called Site S4. And Lazar claims he was recruited through EG&G, a defense contractor that works on government black projects, so secret government projects. And Teller's recommendation helped secure him the interview for S4. Now, at Site S4, Lazar claims he saw multiple alien craft, and then he was tasked with reverse engineering propulsion systems powered by Element 115. And this Element 115 was what the spacecraft used for their anti-gravity propulsion systems. And Bob Lazar's job, working at Site S4, which was part of Area 51, was working on these reverse engineering the propulsion systems that were powered by Element 115. So all of this is happening. Bob Lazar realizes that he's kind of in over his head, and he starts getting fearful at this point. I think he realizes that he's I think he realizes that he's in a bit over his head. So around this time, Lazar meets John Lear. And do you know who John Lear is?
I keep muting myself because I'm typing. Yeah, he created the Lear jet, right?
His father did. So around this time, Lazar meets John Lear. And John Lear is the son of aviation pioneer Bill Lear, and he would eventually become one of Bob Lazar's greatest allies with all of this information. And Lear is the one who encourages. So basically, he meets John Lear. John Lear is the one who encourages Lazar to share his story publicly. After Bob Lazar takes John Lear into the desert, along with another friend of theirs called Gene Huff. And there they went, but basically Bob Lazar says, "Hey, this is where they test. At this point, they're test flying the UFO aircraft that they've recovered. And supposedly the United States military has at least 9 alien spacecraft at Site S4, Area 51. And they're test flying with human pilots. They're test flying these strange alien craft in the desert. Bob Lazar goes to John Lear and Gene Huff and says, I know when they'll be doing these test flights. If you would like to see them, we'll go in the desert and I will show you that these things are real. So in 1988, they go to the desert, and Bob Lazar says at this time they will be test flying these craft. And John Lear and Gene Huff, along with some others, witness these craft flying in the desert. And that's when John Lear encourages Bob Lazar to share his story publicly. And that leads us to the famous video of him sharing his story as Dennis.
Okay. Oh, and that's Dennis. Yeah. So he calls in as a fake name, so he doesn't get exposed, and government doesn't murder him.
Yeah, he decides to do an interview under the guise of anonymity, and then he decides that, which I do think that there's something to this. He decides that the only way to guarantee that he will not be murdered by, the powers that be is to publicly disclose this information and come forward and say, I'm Bob Lazar. Here are the things I've witnessed, and I'm publicly coming forward to say this. And if anything happens to me, this is the truth that I'm telling you based on what I've seen. And that is why he eventually drops the Anonymity Act and he starts to publicly come forward with this information. But that's basically the entire thing, is that he goes on record as sharing all of this information. He describes the things that he's seen. He describes the craft.
So what does he see? So what is the stuff he exposes?
He describes that we do in fact have multiple alien aircraft. He describes that we're trying to reverse engineer the spacecraft so that we can take that technology for ourselves. And basically he's disclosing that the government is lying to us about the existence of recovered extraterrestrial craft and the existence of Area 51. And he describes what he saw. He describes the craft themselves. He describes the propulsion systems. He describes the use of element 115 as being the main fuel source for the anti-gravity propulsion system.
And that's what we should talk about for a second, because I don't know if everyone knows this, if you don't know elements and stuff. On the planet of Earth, we only have a certain amount of elements, like water, not dirt, like what are metal? Give me some elements. Like the elemental chart, the table has how many? 113?
I mean, I think that element 115 is one of the. How many elements are in the
now?
periodic
Because I think it's 114. It's technically like the newest one. Here, let's see here.
How many elements are in there? I don't know how many are in there. How many elements are in the periodic table? How many elements?
Let's see here. I'm looking right now. How many elements are there on Earth?
There's 100. There's 118. So at the time, and I think that.
Oh, they hadn't discovered some of the elements.
Here's the thing about Bob Lazar. I think that his story, if it was just one thing that Bob Lazar had described, I think that he could be discredited as just like a fanciful storyteller with a vivid imagination. But there's so many things about Bob Lazar's story that I think do show that he at least worked for the government in some capacity. Mm-hmm. There's him disclosing element 115 before we publicly knew that element 115 existed. And now it's been synthesized and it's called Moscovium because it was discovered by Russian scientists in the early 2000s. But at the time that Bob Lazar described it, it didn't exist. And so Bob Lazar described that. There are the records that show a W-2 from the United States government. There's his listing in the Los Alamos employee directory. There's the meeting with Edward Teller. There's the fact that he installed a jet engine on his car.
I don't think people even know half of this stuff you're talking about. I don't think it makes. If you're very new to this, like, I don't know who. I think we need to just take it back a second and tell people, at this point on Earth, there was only 114 elements. Meaning, is gold an element? I can't seem to find it on here, but like.
I think the gold is, yeah, like gold, silver, tungsten.
Gold, silver, tungsten. Hydrogen, calcium, lithium, all these sodium, magnesium, all these things we've heard of, calcium. These are all elements. I never thought about this. Nickel, cobalt, copper, zinc, like all these metals are an element. It gets broken down. Everything on the planet of Earth is made up of only this small amount of things. Literally everything. Every human, every car, every piece of dirt, every tree. It's all made up of specific elements. Am I saying this correctly?
Yeah, I mean, everything's made of something.
Yes.
Yeah.
These elements make up all of existence on the planet. Now, Bob comes in and says, oh, there's another element called element 115 that we don't have on Earth, and the UFOs have it. They've been using it to power their stuff. The aliens have it. This is not from this planet. And then the government said, no, that's not true. We don't have other elements.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist. That's not real. He's making that up. Well, then after he said that, scientists then were able to reverse engineer it, and it does now exist.
Well, no.
He wasn't fully lying,
they
right?
didn't reverse engineer it. This is just 20 years
Oh,
later.
I'm sorry. They did find it and discover it, but it's very unstable, and it only stays stable for like a millisecond.
Right.
But it does exist.
This is just 2020, and this is the thing that, like, over time, I think that Bob's story has gained a lot of validity. I think when Bob Lazar came forward in 1989, I think it would be easy to paint him as just a crackpot or like somebody just trying to tell a story.
Oh yeah, gold is one. Here's gold. Gold, platinum, iridium, mercury, lead. Lead is an element. Okay, so then now what is the name? Now was it Moscovium? What's it called?
It's well, they call it Moscovium because it was discovered by it was discovered by, or it was synthesized by Russian scientists. But
neon.
But this is like,
and okay, and you know
this
that
is just
krypton is a real element.
Yes.
So this is just that.
This is just 20 years later, and I think this does add some validity to Bob's story, being like, hey, we're not there yet. Like, we haven't stabilized this element enough to use it as a fuel source, but this element does exist, and Bob was talking about this 20 years before it was synthesized. Yeah. So it's like, it's like, how would this guy know about this? Also, and this is, I included some clips. Something that is very interesting to me is that in 2018, I think is when they were doing a documentary about Bob Lazar, and Bob Lazar stayed dormant for a very long time. Like, he was known in fringe circles, like fringe UFO circles, but he mostly kept to himself through most of the 90s and 2000s. He mostly just like he has a scientific supply company called United Nuclear, and mostly he just worked at his United Nuclear company. And something that I think is fascinating and a bit telling in a matter of speaking is that they were making a documentary about him and this documentarian called Jeremy Corbell. And supposedly, if one is to believe the story, Bob claims that he smuggled out some of this stable version of element 115 from Area 51, Site S4, and he has it hidden on his property. And he was talking with Jeremy Corbell in a private conversation off camera about element 115, and then the FBI, and this is in the documentary.
Thank you, Cy, for gifting another membership. Holy
Thank you, Cy.
Crap. We have 11 new members.
You,
if we get 11 more, we hit my magical number of 22. Thank you.
Thank you, Cy. Something that I think is very interesting is that he was talking with Jeremy Corbell, because I think that Jeremy Corbell wanted to see the element 115. They had a private conversation. This is something that actually happened. You can Google this if you'd like. And I've included a clip of the director and Bob Lazar talking about this on Larry King. And they were having a private conversation, not on camera.
Is that
but they did
the doc?
Yes. And they had their cell phones in their pockets. The FBI raided Bob Lazar's lab several days later, and they had audio taken from their phones. They were listening to their phones. They had like tapped their cell phones and were listening to them. They played back audio to them of their conversation when they weren't live, they weren't on their phones, and they were talking about it separately. An entire team, they claimed that they were looking for something specific related to a murder that is not somebody. The FBI cover story is that somebody bought a chemical from Bob Lazar's chemical supply company and used it in a murder. But it was a team of like 36 FBI agents that showed up.
Wow.
Why would a team of 36, and they tore apart Bob Lazar's lab? Why would they do this if they were just looking for like a receipt?
Sketchy.
That Bob Lazar, right. And this was like right after, and we can watch that clip, but this was like right after the conversation. Very strange.
Yeah, so they're not looking very good when they're saying he's full of crap and he's making this up. The government's then scrambling to cover their tracks.
Right. I think they were looking for element
that he's right.
I think they were looking for element 115.
Probably, because they want, if they don't want that out there and have someone else have it, they want it and they want to make stuff with it.
Right. Bob was naughty and stole it.
Yep.
But yeah, let's watch the clip.
Bob? I didn't think they were after 30 years, but
Wait, so what does he say?
Is the government watching?
So this is basically like
Yeah,
them.
yeah, I'm trying to hear
Yeah.
what he's asked if the government is after them.
Is the government watching you, Bob?
I didn't think they were after 30 years, but due to recent events, I would probably change.
What happened?
Jeremy and I had a private conversation out in a remote area of my property. Cell phones in our pockets, but turned off.
All filmed.
And filming it. And Jeremy was down there to film some of this documentary. He left the following morning, and simultaneously there was an FBI raid at my place of
Raid.
business. Yeah.
Looking for what?
Well, they said they were looking for some receipts from an individual that might have bought some toxic material from a company. But they came with more people than you could really think would even fit in our building. I mean, agency after agency, computer experts pulling information off the computers. And
what do you think they were there for?
Well, what do you think, Jeremy?
They were able to repeat back verbatim a portion of the conversation that we thought was private, and that shocked us because we were joking that.
So they had their phones off, and the government still heard them.
I think the NSA, or whoever, the intelligence agencies, I think that they're watching Bob Lazar, and they still are. They're making sure he doesn't say anything.
They probably have cameras or mics or bugs in his place.
Well, no, you can do that. Even if your phone's off, the government can listen to your phone, even if it's off.
How?
Because your phone is constantly drawing power. Why do you think that they removed the ability to take a battery out of a phone?
No, you think the government's behind that?
It's proven that they can still do that. Yes, that's why
so
they
sketchy.
don't.
Wow, dude, that's shocking, actually.
Right, that's why they don't let you take the battery out of your phone anymore, because the government, they can
Government says no.
Right, your phone is always drawing some sort of power.
I'll say this: I am pretty sure this works. If you wrap foil around your phone with it off, it does cut off the signal, and it won't transmit or take in any information, because I put that to the test. Even when the phone is on.
I like that this is a shocking
down. revelation
for you. The chat's just yep, 100%. Yeah, this is why you can't take your battery out of your phone anymore, because
I had no
people
idea.
would
That's
you
scary.
you remember back in the day there'd be take the battery out of your phone, in every movie where criminals were doing
But what if your phone
something.
is completely dead? Can the government still it doesn't have power? It wouldn't work. I understand it not fully shutting off when you think it's off, but that means eventually it would die and it would do nothing. It'd be a brick.
I mean, if your phone hasn't been on in weeks, maybe, but if your phone just died, there's still a think about it this way, when your phone still has a trace amount of power. When you need to charge your phone, you can tap it and it'll still come up with a display saying there's still a graphic that shows up in your phone saying charge your phone. It's because there's still power coming from there's still power going to your device.
I've thought of that. It's how my phone's still got enough energy to show me that it needs to be charged. Give me another minute of internet time, phone.
Right.
Wow,
there's still
shocking.
There's still power going to your device.
Wow. Well, Everson in the chat says, that's why I don't have a cell phone. I know too much. No, you just exposed yourself. The government's watching this stream like a hawk. They're coming for you now.
They know that Bob Lazar sent me a picture.
Yeah, they're coming for you. Tom and Everson. Watch out.
They're coming after me.
Okay,
But this
I didn't
is
know that. That's interesting. Okay, well, let me finish this clip now.
Yeah.
So the government's snooping on these guys, talking about element 115.
Nobody even cared 30 years later what he says, but apparently it's not as it appears. There were 27 forensic agents with a truck there for paperwork.
That's
I don't
insane.
know. We don't really care.
They're looking for a receipt, and 3 dozen FBI agents show up.
It's a real big receipt.
Right. It's this would be 2 agents would be we need to commandeer your computer, your receipts. But they wouldn't send 3 dozen FBI agents to tear apart your lab to find your receipts.
Yeah.
And this is the day after their conversation that they had in private, where allegedly Jeremy Corbell, who's the director here, was asking him about the element 115.
So they're oh, did you hear that? Element 115. Everybody get in the truck. We gotta go to Bob's.
He's talking about it. We got him. Let's
boys,
go.
It's time to get the element.
Yep.
Wow.
What FBI, what about this as a crime?
They're looking for some of the fuel from the craft that might have been stolen.
Element 115.
That might have been stolen. So Bob's admitting he stole something from government property.
No. He said it. No. He said it might have been.
Yeah, might. I think we're leaning on the might.
I mean, allegedly, Bob has some Element 115 stashed away somewhere.
I really hope he has it.
I mean, I think he took it as an insurance policy so they wouldn't murder him.
Yeah, or they'll murder him to get it.
I mean, if he's got it hidden away somewhere.
He also could have given it to someone else, and they don't know where it is now.
Also true.
Bob said fueled to craft a stable version.
Oh, wait.
And Element 115 was always something Bob said fueled to craft a stable version. And to be direct, which Bob is being direct right now, they were looking to see if he had any of that taken out of Los Alamos where they machined it, which he did say back in 1989 or so that he did get some out to do tests on.
Never miss a beat. Subscribe.
Okay, so I think I included a
So Element 115 is what powers the UFOs. Bob has some. FBI says we want it back.
And they actually raided his laboratory.
Yeah.
Like the day after he's talking about this in a private conversation with Jeremy Corbell. Also, Noah, thank you for becoming an odd best friend.
Remember, Noah, it's 12 members. We are 10 members away from the ultimate number of 22. I will do something if we hit 22. You tell me what. We gotta do it on this episode.
Also, I said if we get one red dono, I'll shave off my other eyebrow.
Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we make?
I've already shaved off one eyebrow. Might as well shave off the shave off the other one.
Finish the job.
But it finish what
dono,
we started.
Who was it that donated the red dono last week?
It was Cy.
Cy, thank you for that, for shaving Tom's eyebrow.
Thank you.
Hopefully someone else can shave his other one, and then we can keep the show going.
We'll keep it going.
Almost at 69 likes, by the way. We got to hit 69 likes.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you like the stream. So I included another clip. It was this is a news story about Bob Lazar. I thought this was a good, like, just short, comprehensive. It's like a 5-minute video just talking about Bob Lazar. So if anybody needed to hear a little bit more about Bob Lazar, his case is. Car? No, but we should watch that. This is footage of Bob Lazar's rocket car from 1982. He put a jet engine in his car.
Yeah, we got
which is
this.
Crazy. This is the that's the news footage. And this is just a news story about Bob Lazar. I just think that this was a good news story about him. I think this is, and this shows a little bit of his footage from the 80s. There's a lot of interviews with Bob Lazar from the late 80s out there. I strongly recommend you watch them. His case is really fascinating. And I think at a bare minimum, and there are things that Bob described. There's things like Element 115. Another thing that I don't know if you've heard about this, Nathan, but
wait. Elastic, hang on. Can you guys not donate? No, it's a super chat. We're talking about Randono. If you do a super chat, if you do a certain amount, like blue, a blue dono is $2. $5 is green. Orange is $10. Darker orange is $20. Pink is $50. Red is $100. And then
yes, it's a super chat.
So when we say a red dono, we mean a super chat donation. $100, Tom will shave his eyebrow off. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan and I each get, after YouTube fees and splitting it, we get $35 each.
Tom gets $35 for shaving his eyebrow.
Right.
Really
well, we get I get enough for a pizza.
Yeah, because YouTube gets a fee, then we split it. Let me play this footage so we can see Bob in action in the 80s.
Totally impossible.
There's Dennis.
The propulsion system.
So this is something we should focus on. This is the moment Bob does the whistleblowing. So Bob goes under the alias of Dennis in 1989 and says that there's aliens and UFOs at Area 51. And this this is when he came on the map and became the person that we know.
The funniest thing about Bob's story is when Bob had a lab partner when he worked at Area 51. And I love it when he talks about his lab partner because he talks about him when he talks about him, his lab partner's name was Barry. Mm. And for some reason, I think it's really funny when he's like, yeah, Barry and I went into work. And it's just funny hearing him be like, oh, your top secret.
Barry and Bob. That's like a sitcom. Barry and Bob, two guys that work at Area 51.
I love hearing him be like, yep, that's when Barry and I were working on an Element 115, the anti-gravity propulsion systems.
So funny. All right, let's play it.
system is a gravity propulsion system. The power source is an antimatter reactor. This technology does not exist at all.
The claim sounded
Oh
like
my God!
Hollywood sci-
No one did it! I have to shave off my other eyebrow.
I did not expect that to happen. No one gave $100 freaking dollars.
I have to shave off my other eyebrow.
You did it. No one. You're insane. He's got to shave his eyebrow. Can you do it on camera this time?
I don't want to get hair
Just
all
bring
over
a
my
towel.
keyboard.
Just bring a towel and put it over your
Here,
keyboard.
I'll do this. I'll give you a before.
No,
and then I'll go.
Tom, you can literally bring a hand towel or a bath towel. Just put it over your keyboard and shave it right there. We got to give the people what they need.
Let me get a plate or something to do it onto.
Get
Hold on.
anything, and you can just blow it off after.
Okay, here. You keep talking. I'm gonna go get something. No one. Thank you very much. You've kept the show going another week.
Unbelievable.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thank
I'll be right back.
No one. Gotcha. Cool story. It's cool. Sorry for having you take the time to explain that to me. Enjoy your pizza. No, we are happy to explain it. This is a new channel, a new show. We appreciate you doing that. We want to make sure everyone understands what we're talking about. Tom did say last week if he got 2 red donuts, he'd shave off both his eyebrows. So Tom has really taken one for the team here to earn he and I only $35. I appreciate him doing that and causing engagement and support. It's very nice of him. This is a very small show, a very small channel, obviously, but we're going to be doing this show 3 days a week. And the clips from these streams will be uploaded as videos. As you can see, there are already some on the channel. Thank you, Nolan. That's very, very nice of you. Holy crap. He's got to do it, finally. I'm so happy about this. Finally, you're going to look...
Okay.
You're going to look symmetrical.
I mean, yeah. I went out. I went outside now, but just went, oh, no. But I will say, at least my eyebrows will be even.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, Jenna Ortega style. Okay, hold on one sec.
All right, so we're gonna do a little zoom on Tom.
Okay, I got a plate. Hopefully this gets all the hair. Ready?
Oh, wait, let me zoom in on you. See if I can get a good zoom. Oh, I gotta do it this way.
It's a Philips Norelco. This is what it was designed for, right?
Probably specifically made for eyebrow shaving. Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yep. Shaving his eyebrow on the plate. Oh, I think his mic is like cutting off the frequency of the shaving, but that's all right. We can see it's happening. I'll give a little sound check. It looks painful. You're really scrubbing it. Oh my god.
Trying to make sure I get it.
It seems like you got a strong eyebrow. It's not even really getting it.
Is it gone?
No, I think you have a guard on there. Maybe no. It's still there.
Yeah, but it's on the lowest setting.
Oh, I think it's not really getting it. I think. Hello, Angie. Welcome. Hello, everyone.
Oh, there we go.
No one just donated to have Tom shave off his other eyebrow. Oh, here it goes. Yeah, bye. Again, the whole middle's gone.
Is it all gone?
No, you got it's only the middle. You got to get the front and then the end.
How exciting!
It's funnier even just to shave part of it because then you look like a freak. You have no eyebrows. I can't tell if it's all gone. I can't tell if it's shadow.
I'm pretty sure it's all gone.
I mean, it's a massive chunk missing at least.
Wow, what an exciting program.
Your other one is definitely gone more.
What an exciting intellectual program we have.
You kind of look like an alien without the eyebrows.
What an exciting intellectual program. This is stimulating content, folks. Who better to tell you about alien conspiracies than me? This is
yeah. This is our credible source right here, everyone. The man with no eyebrows will tell you what's really going on out there in the government.
I'll tell you about ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness monster, theory of Atlantis, whatever you want to know.
If a man with no eyebrows ever comes up to you and says, "Hey, you want to know about aliens?" You know you can trust him. Wow. No one just gave another 2. Thank you. Mustache
For
sale.
$2, mustache for sale. Oh yeah, how much to both shave off our mustache? This is just devolved into like, this is devolved into how much to shave off our mustaches.
I will not shave my mustache. I have to shave the top of my head and my mustache in January when I film the dad movie. So I'm keeping this as long as I can. And I will not be shaving my eyebrows because I still audition for things. I have to do an audition this weekend that's due on Tuesday for a TV show. So I have to have my eyebrows for my regular life, unfortunately. Sorry, everyone. Tom,
thank you.
Is this
Thank
a
you,
man
everybody.
who's on the internet talking conspiracy so he can do this?
Yeah, but like, you know, someday I might want to go outside or you not scare the neighborhood people.
No. You don't have to go anywhere. You have a wife. Why do you have to go anywhere? Mission accomplished. You never have to go back outside again. You went out there and you got a wife, and now you can play it safe inside.
Well, thank you, no one. Thank you for the $100 super chat. Thank you for the $2. Nathan and I split everything. So you've kept the show going.
Thank you very much.
And thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for the members too. We're trying to. How many? You said we're trying to get 22. What are we, like 10 members away from the member?
I like to hit 22. It's just my like lucky number. So yeah, we got 12, which is a lot of members. We appreciate it. We are 5 likes away from 69. We're getting there.
Oh yeah, Roomba's right. Whoopi still got roles with no eyebrows, and she dated Ted Danson.
True. So you could date Ted Danson.
I could date Ted Danson too.
And you could be in. What movies was she even in? I can't even think.
She was in Sister Act.
Sister Act, that's the big one. Yeah.
Sister Act 1 and 2.
Good movie.
Sequel. Okay, we should watch the. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you for the support. Again, we don't want to beat the drum too hard, but we're trying to turn this into a real thing.
Yeah.
And Nathan is potentially coming to this area in a few. Helly, thank you very much. Nathan is potentially coming to this area in a few months, and then we'd be able to do the show live in the same room, probably at his house if he's renting a house, which would be amazing. It would be great.
And I, if you weren't here earlier, I mentioned it. Katie and I are probably going to move up towards Portland next year.
Johnny Edwards, oh my God!
Johnny,
there's so much.
Johnny. So wait, I got to make a special announcement for Johnny. Johnny's staff quad here was our very first member of this channel. And I don't know, I said to Tom, I saw that, Johnny, you were a member before.
No, Johnny was new.
But I saw that membership on this channel before we even went live here. And I wasn't sure if this was a leftover member from when it was Beyond Worlds. And they still were a member. Or, Johnny, did you sign up just the other day for this new Odd Boys channel? Because you were the very first member the other day when we were still setting up the channel. And I was changing the name.
No, I think I think they're new. Thank you, Helly. Thank you, Johnny, and thank you, Raspberry, for the support. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Helly, and thank you, Raspberry. We that's 14 members. We are getting towards that 22. 8 away.
Only eight away from the magical, mystical 22.
The chat has to tell me what to do if we hit 22 members. I was thinking about
doing
Nathan.
I don't know what. Nathan's gonna do something at 20. Oh yeah.
I'm not giving us many options though for stuff for me to do because I don't want to hurt myself before I do the 24-hour dancing on Saturday. And I don't want to eat something spicy after what happened last week when I nearly died. So what else what other options do I have? I'm not shaving my head or my eyebrows.
Why not?
I already did what the chat wanted, and I bought Katie her sewing machine. So I did that.
I think you should
have me marry Katie. All right, I'll marry Katie if we get 22 subs.
If you get 22 subs, you'll just marry Katie.
Eat something sour. I don't have anything sour. Oh my gosh, in Nap. Oh my gosh, there's so many donations happening. This is crazy.
Tomorrow I should draw we're Nathan is going to be on H. We're going to the regular show is going to come back on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're doing Tuesday and Thursday this week. Because I'm doing my 24-hour dancing on Saturday. I have to set up for that. I'm on H3 tomorrow to bring awareness to the dancing stream. So Tuesday, we're back to the normal schedule. This is a weird week because I have to raise money for the Dad movie. By the way, if you got a couple bucks, please donate to the Dad film.
We'll be back on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And that's when the member call-in will be Friday. Nathan is busy doing he's busy on, he'll be setting, like he said, he'll be setting up Friday. He'll be on H3. It'll be too much of a hassle to try to work it in.
22 members, we could maybe make Tom watch Passions. We could watch the pilot with Tom. That could be cool. Do like a special end of the stream next Saturday or Friday where we watch an episode of Passions.
For 22,000 members, I'll watch.
We might need more members than that, because that's going to be like a whole extra hour stream.
Raspberry, $1.99. Thank you, Raspberry, for the super chat.
We might do like 44 or 69 when we watch.
I would say,
Tom.
I would say 69 members. I would watch an episode of Passions.
Ooh,
sure.
We heard it here. We'll get there eventually, everybody.
69 members, I would do it.
And
to sit through that.
And that doesn't just mean 69 members
travesty.
in one stream. That means 69 total members. So in a couple of weeks, we'll hopefully be there.
Yeah, well, then we'll have more of the Odd Boys army at that point.
Yeah. All right, let me finish this video.
Yeah, let's finish this video. Thank you, everybody, for the support.
Sci-fi. Months later, when his identity was revealed, Bob Lazar said he worked at a secret facility near Groom Lake, where alien technology was being reverse engineered, that is, taken apart to figure out how it worked and whether
Can I also point out, Nathan, really quick? You can believe or not the validity of this sort of thing, but Bob Lazar has passed a polygraph test when he was asked all these questions. His first one was shortly after he went public, and it was inconclusive, I think because he was nervous. And then he did a second one shortly thereafter, and he passed it. So I mean, Bob
I don't know why anyone
believes
even
what
doubt
he's
it.
saying.
I don't even know who even doubts it. Like, it doesn't. He's not saying anything crazy. Everything he says sounds like something they would have worked on. I believe there's UFOs. I don't think there's anyone doubting him, honestly. Like, yeah, we believe you, dude.
I will say, I don't know what happened to Derek exactly, but Derek is the biggest Bob Lazar hater ever.
Oh, really? So we found one person that doesn't believe Bob Lazar. I think Derek's just doing that to be difficult, to be contrary. Classic troll behavior.
Derek, why don't you believe Bob? Bob's a very believable man.
Derek does. Derek just says opposite of what everyone else says. Continuing on with the truth.
Continuing on.
This is the simple drawing he made at the time.
Here now, I had access and was permitted to view and look at the operation of this main level with the
That's him drawing my photo.
And the level below.
The premise seems less preposterous now. In a new documentary about Lazar, he describes in detail the spacecraft he worked on 30 years ago.
Here he is. He's signing my photo.
Tom has this photo, everyone.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, it's right here.
One from Bob Lazar.
Yeah, I have it. I have it right here. That thing that he's drawing is literally right here.
Mike Lombardo gifted this framed UFO drawing to Tom. That's freaking.
It's literally what he's drawing in the thing.
That's awesome. I want one now.
That I worked on. That when it's
you guys, we said this earlier, but when we get popular and we get our own studio and we shoot this together up in the great northwest of Oregon, when I lived there.
Our co-host will be Bob Lazar when that happens.
Co-host will be Bob Lazar. We can have a set in a studio where we could hang up Tom's picture that Bob Lazar drew for him. And we can also put in all other kinds of alien, sci-fi, spooky, cryptid things in the studio. So if you keep watching, you keep donating, keep liking, and keep becoming members, we will literally be helping us fund our dream of having our own studio to shoot this in next year. So that's the plan. That's where we're headed. We really want to have this show take off and this channel take off, and we're going to do it 3 days a week. So thanks for watching.
Travel a long distance. That is how it operates. It flies along and it puts its belly to the target.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. I forgot to mention this, Nathan. So they talk about this in the video. They'll mention it in a second. This is another piece that Bob has been saying this for years, that the way that the spaceship travels using their gravity propulsion systems is the same way that the aliens were found to move in David Fravor's that pilot that claims the Tic Tac UFO.
Oh yeah.
Bob was talking about how they moved and the way they moved 30 years ago. And then that footage came.
UFO is like this, and it goes like this, and flies on its side or something.
It goes like this, and it's like belly front, and it moves like that. Bob was talking about that 30 years ago.
A plate is facing up, just going forward.
But Bob was talking about this, and everybody was like, "Yeah, UFOs don't fly like that." And then David Fravor's footage came out. And then he was like, yes, that's what I was saying 30 years ago.
Wow. So that's another thing that confirms that Bob Lazar was not lying.
But like people said that he was crazy at the time. But then like he's like, I said this 30 years ago.
Man, it's all coming out.
All the amplifiers to power and you know, it shoots off in that direction. It doesn't fly as it would in a science fiction movies. It flies with the belly, the bottom forward.
If the description
Bob doesn't
of a
think UFO sightings
spacecraft
are aliens. Yeah, they're drunk aliens.
Yeah, they don't know how to drive. Hey, they're still, even when they're drunk, they're better drivers than us.
Thing sounds familiar. Take a look
Yeah,
at the
they showed here.
so-called gimbal UFO, a video released by the Pentagon in 2017. Naval pilots encountered a fleet of these unknown craft off the coast of Florida in 2015 and have since had dozens of similar encounters. The spike in UFO incidents prompted a recent policy change by the Navy, which announced it wants to encourage its pilots to report future incidents. Pentagon officials reluctantly admitted to the New York Times 17 months ago that the military has secretly studied UFO incidents, in part so it might figure out the technology.
In the gimbal video, there's a mechanistic turn against the wind without deceleration. So we have a craft without
It's just lots of
rotors,
little things
without
that I
heat
think add to his story.
Yeah.
It's like, I do think that his story is quite. Oh, this is the the documentary is like the beginning's narrated by Mickey Rourke.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, I think we get the gist of this video. That basically Bob is not lying. It's kind of talking about what now it's talking about like Commander Fravors footage and stuff.
You know, I think, and to what Derek is saying is like, you know, Bob doesn't. Bob is just like, hey, I saw what I saw. He didn't see aliens.
He saw technology that is advanced.
He saw technology that is advanced, and I mean, that's the whole thing is like, I don't know what I think Bob is just saying. I reverse engineered these UFOs and I saw what I saw, and he described a lot of things that turned out to be true. So I do think that Bob, I think at a bare minimum, this is what I think about Bob Lazar. I think at a bare minimum, he worked for the United States military, which I think has been fairly validated. I think he worked for Los Alamos, which has been validated. I think he's a really smart guy, and I think his story's been really consistent. I think he's passed polygraph tests, so I think that adds something to his story. And I think that he, at a bare minimum, saw something that can't be explained other than he saw technology beyond what is described, like what is described to be as like available to us at this time. I think he did see very advanced technology.
Yeah, I think so. This is.
And here's him with his rocket car.
This is his rocket car in the 80s that he made. He took a jet engine and attached it to a car.
Which is cool. That's just cool.
The audio is going to be horrible. I want to see him drive. So it's just, did he take off or is it? You can't even see anything. Okay, there it is. There he goes.
Derek's saying he saw a way to make money, but he's been saying this since the 80s.
Oh my God, look at that. It's messing up the camera.
It's so good. He put a jet engine. He put a jet engine in his car.
Oh, they're like under a bridge or something with cement. Like, what is this stuff? Isn't that stuff going to burn that's behind him?
I think Bob is pretty wild.
It's scrambling the camera every time he revs it. The VHS can't handle the power. This is insane, but I want to see him drive it. How is the car not moving? That's got a strong e-brake. Let's listen to this.
I think yeah, there we go. Or he's like revving it.
Horrible on the ears. Is this at a? Oh, is that a racetrack?
Okay, yeah.
I think these are like seats. This is the worst footage I've ever seen. Black and white in VHS. Well,
and see,
he did it.
I disagree with Derek in that he just saw a way to make money. And the only reason that I disagree with that is that
he never made money off of it until like he sold his pictures like a year ago. During the heat of all that, he never made money. Even during the Joe Rogan stuff and when he did the documentary, he didn't make money off of anything.
I mean, I think that now he's probably making some money, but for a very long time, he wasn't. Like he wasn't making millions. He wasn't making millions of dollars. He wasn't making thousands of dollars. I think maybe now he's making money off of it, but he's a 60-year-old man that came forward like this.
And he didn't need to make money off of it because he had a company, he had a good job. He was making like chemicals and doing science stuff as a full-time job. He didn't need to do any of this. So he like has a job. Nicole, the U.S. government is smarter than the whole world. I don't think so. It's the scientists that are the smart ones that are working for the government. And then the government says, oh, what'd you figure out? We don't want you to know that anymore.
And Derek, I would just say he charges for appearances in the videos. I would counter back and say also, but I would also counter back and say, I don't think that necessarily disproves the validity of his claims.
Yeah. If I saw something legitimate and I like told it, and then later in life people was like, hey, do you want to talk about it? I'd be like, I was doing this too much. You got to pay me something. It doesn't mean I didn't see what I saw because I want to get paid for it. That just means he's smart. So that means if someone says it and they never get paid, so all the crazy people in the street who are screaming and not getting paid to say they saw aliens, you're going to believe them because they're not getting paid?
I'll also say I don't think it's any different than somebody asking for an appearance fee. They saw a murder.
Yeah, scientists do speeches all the time and they get paid to go speak somewhere.
Or like look at politicians. Look at, any politician. Look at like Obama, like whoever. They're taking
that disproves nothing.
They're charging $100,000 for an appearance fee.
That just makes sense. That's just being smart. That means he is smart. It's smarter than we thought because he's not throwing away his time.
I don't think that it. Like I don't think that.
Nicole, I don't think it
I don't think it disproves the validity of the claims.
Nicole asked, "Why are there no rogue scientists developing alien technology?" There are rogues that people are making all kinds of sketchy stuff. We should talk about this sometime. The guy who developed what's it called? It's the infinite energy. There's a phrase for this. There's a guy who developed a thing that the powered itself. So you never need to use an outlet. You never have to plug anything in. It has to do with quantum technology. Oh, I mentioned it in the Dad
series. It's like cold fusion.
Cold fusion. Is that what it's called? No, not cold fusion.
I mean, it could be.
What the heck is it?
Just free energy.
It's basically something that never runs.
Derek is saying, so you guys are, I mean, I don't know of how much money he's made, Derek. I mean, you seem to have more information on this topic than I do.
Wanting it to be fake.
I'm just saying, Derek, my point is I don't know how much money he's made. I don't know how much money he's charging for appearances. I'm saying that in terms of the things that I've seen him say and the items that have been presented, I don't think that it matters to me that if he's made $20,000 in appearance fees, that doesn't matter to me because that's the same thing as somebody saying, I witnessed this terrible tragedy and I will appear on the news, but I'll appear on Oprah, but I'm charging a $10,000 appearance fee. I don't think that matters.
Yeah. Also, anyway, we just gotta keep saying it over and over. It's just someone doesn't believe it. That's fine if you don't believe it. That's totally fine. He has been the most credible. The way he speaks, the things he says, everything's been proven.
I think he's fairly credible.
Everything he said has been proven true. The stuff he said about touching the wall and like how you got in access to the different rooms. The government said, "Oh, that's not true. That's not how you got into the rooms." Then photos came out of the access to the rooms that he wasn't lying. 20 years later, that was true too.
Hold up. So what Nathan is describing is that, and this was something that was proven that wasn't known to the public at the time, is they used these hand scanners that I think that they measured the bone density of your hands, and every person has like a unique bone density of their hands. It was like a unique fingerprint and like hand identification system. Bob described this as being the way that they would access the secret hangars in Site S4, Area 51. And everybody at the time, when he described this, was like, that's science fiction, buddy. That doesn't exist. And then years later, it was revealed that the stealth fighter program was using.
It says it's a bone scanner.
It's real. This is an actual real thing that existed. And Bob described this as the way that they accessed certain areas of the facility. And everybody at the time described this as science fiction and laughed at him about this. But it turned out to be true. And they used this in secret military installations in the United States.
Yeah.
It turned out to be true.
So, Take that, Derek. Everything Bob said ended up being real.
All that I'm saying is there's a lot. I do think, at a minimum, my take on this is Bob did work for a secret program. Bob has information that was unavailable to the general public, like secret information, actual confidential information that he got from somewhere. It didn't appear out of the sky. And I think that you can believe what you want. You can choose to believe Bob. You can choose not to believe Bob. I do think that Bob did work for the United States government. I do think that he did something. It might not have been alien spacecraft. He could have worked for like a secret stealth program, and he was working on like something that was beyond his knowledge at the time. But I do think that Bob did work for the government. I do think that he did something. And I do think that at least he believes he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
And like, does that mean that it is the truth? Like, was he fed? I think and this is another possibility that, like, sure, this is a possibility. There is something in...
so, Derek, what did you learn that made you start doubting Bob Lazar? What is this new information that discredits him that you have learned?
It seems like Derek's main thing is, like, Bob Lazar started charging money for appearances, and so I no longer believe him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It doesn't matter to me that he's profiting off this. Like, I think that there's lots of people who see things and then write... What's the difference between that and somebody surviving a terrible tragedy and writing a book and making $1 million in the book?
Yeah.
I don't, it doesn't, I don't think that it matters to me.
But to address Nicole saying that scientists aren't developing things, people are at home developing weird things all the time. And then those people get recruited, like Bob, to Area 51 in different places to work for the government, because then they can get paid to do what they do. But I'm sure there's people doing experiments all the time. Also, Lockheed Martin. That's like all these companies that aren't necessarily the government and these like agencies we don't even know about are developing like all the UFOs and stuff that we probably see flying around. They're probably from here on Earth, and they're just super technology that is beyond what the government has. That is people developing alien technology and doing things. All these drones we're seeing, it's probably these giant companies that are making new technology. It does happen. We're just not going to hear about it. No one's going to be like, hey guys, guess what I just did? You can teleport now. No one's going to tell you that, because then they're going to get shut down or murdered.
I do think that minimally, let's say minimally, Bob worked for the United States government, and he was working with technology that, let's say it's not alien, it's not extraterrestrial in origin. Bob was just working on super secret technology and information that to him seemed alien. I think that that's possible. It's just something that was like, but I do think that he did work for a secret military installation.
Okay, I just thought of it. I just found it. 0 point energy is the phrase. That's what I wanted to mention to Nicole. So there is a thing this guy developed on his own at home. It's called 0 point energy. And it's basically a way to never run out of power. 0 point energy is the minimum amount of energy a quantum mechanical system can possess, a consequence of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Even at absolute zero, particles and fields exhibit continuous quantum fluctuations, creating an underlying sea of energy in the vacuum that cannot be entirely removed. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, this is like a power source that never runs out. Also, this ties into something else I wanted to mention, which I'm not educated enough and I don't retain the information well enough to really then regurgitate it to the stream. But there is some photon or an element or some sort of atom out there that moves on its own infinitely forever, and it can't be destroyed. I can't think of it as I could look this up for the next week's episode, because this is kind of something that fascinates me.
Also, I just thought of something. To speak, Derek was saying, get Seth back on here, because like we didn't know what we were talking about. Seth was talking about absorbing cosmic energy.
Get Seth on here. My brother says he goes out in the middle of the night and absorbs moon cosmic rays, and then because he gets information from the moon. You want to hear him? What he has to say, and then he says, "I can't do it for too long because I'm going to get cancer from the moon."
We're talking about a verified physicist who's had experiences that are more than likely true. Seth's talking about absorbing the moon's cosmic radiation, and that's making him all powerful.
Oh my God! Well, anyway, this is a very fascinating thing. 0 point energy is something I think we should look into. I want to search this guy who developed.
When are we gonna have Bob? When are we gonna have Bob on here?
German physicist Max Planck. There's a good episode on this guy on the Y-Files YouTube channel.
You know what we should do? We should get Bob on. We should have.
I think the guy was
we should have
murdered, so proves he was probably onto
we
something
should-
he wasn't supposed to be doing.
We should have Bob on the show to debate Derek.
Bob will just be like, "You're an effing idiot." Bob will just
No, I
swear
think
at
that
everyone.
I think you should believe whatever you want. If you don't believe Bob's story, that's fine. But I think that there, you know, I'll never say that I 100% believe his story, but there's so much to his story that makes me go,
Yeah, and that's all we're here to do. We're here to look into things and go,
But I think that there's so much that like makes me at least believe that there is something here, which is very interesting to me. There's certain people that like you hear it and you go, okay, that person just might they're just telling a story. Like I love Travis Walton's story, but like you know, there's things there that I'm like, is this real or is this just him and his buddies? Did they get into something? I think that Bob was a scientist, is a scientist, and I think that he was doing something for the government.
Definitely. It's very obvious. Let's see if we can figure out what 0-point energy is.
You'll find no mention of 0-point energy in classical mechanics. The closest thing you'll come to it in 19th century science is the concept
I can.
to the ether.
I can
a
too.
hypothetical substance that pervades all of space. Whose quanta are fermions, that is leptons and quarks, in the plates. Thus, propulsion concepts
I'm going
are
to gather some things to talk about in the next episode. 0-point energy, those photons that never stop moving, which is technically impossible because everything needs an energy source and some sort of fuel to power. Like you know, every atom needs something, a cause and effect to then export energy and movement. This thing just never stops moving. These like electrons, and it's really weird. It has to do with like black matter. There's like all this dark matter stuff or whatever it's called. It's so interesting. I want to get to the bottom of it. So I think we should
Also, Derek,
next week.
we would love to hear your side. Derek, we're not trying to misrepresent you. We love you, Derek. You've been a follower for a long time.
You gotta come on the show. If you become a member, we'll have you come on voice chat and you can tell us everything you want to say. Also, if anyone's had any weird experiences, I really want people to call in and tell us the weird experiences they've had, ghost experiences, alien stuff, weird stuff you saw, weird, just anything weird and paranormal. We want people to call in and tell us what's going on because we're taking over for Coast to Coast.
I'm gonna try to get in touch with Bob. Once we get popular, I am gonna do a special episode, or we're gonna do a special episode where we have Bob and Derek on.
Bob Lazar.
And he can just talk.
His biggest critic.
He could talk to Derek and just say, why don't you believe me? I did work there. I made $100 doing a guest appearance.
If we're incredibly popular, maybe he would come on.
I made $100 on a guest appearance. Now you don't believe me. I don't get it. They paid for my hotel room.
What is the other thing I wanted to talk about? The double slot experiment with the photon thing.
Oh yeah. I think it was the slot experiment.
A double slit experiment. This literally blew my mind when I saw this. We'll do this for next week.
Johnny says, why wait? We need the views. We do, but Bob is like actually well known. I think he would. We're
He's
not
a world famous physicist.
Right. I think that we could ask him to be on. I think he would go. Thanks for liking my story, guys.
This chamber.
Bye.
When a laser.
Yeah, he has no interest. This blows my mind and tells me this leads to a bigger picture. I can't watch this right now. I'm gonna be rambling for hours. This leads my brain to thinking we're in a simulation, and this is real science that happens, and it blows my mind and makes me question everything. I think we need to talk about simulation theory next. Look at Tom. Tom's frozen. He's in a simulation. We need to talk about this next episode. Maybe we do simulation theory.
I'm not even real. I'm AI.
See, there you go. He has no eyebrows. Doesn't look like a human. He looks phony to me.
No. Well, when I went to get my buzzer, I injected the alien DNA into my veins. I'm like that X-Files thing where they're doing the alien human hybrids. That's me now.
Tom's an alien, you guys. You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we wrap it up. It's about 2 hours, 40 minutes. It's good.
Yeah, this is
episode.
about how long we're trying to keep the show. Thank you, everybody. We almost made it to 22 members.
14.
Maybe on the next show. We're
14.
only 8. We're 8 away from 22, the magical, mystical 22. I think we'll hit that next week. No show Friday and Saturday because Nathan is going to be on H3 tomorrow, and then he's doing his 24-hour dance stream on Saturday. But then we'll be back on Tuesday and hopefully Nathan doesn't cramp up and explode from dancing for 20. How are you going to last 24 hours? What are you going to do?
I was already talking to Katie earlier, and I was like, well, I think I can physically handle dancing for 24 hours. It's the mental that will probably drive me crazy. And just being in one room, I can't leave that room for 24 hours.
Are you going to wear a diaper? Are you going to wear a diaper or something? How are you going to go to the bathroom?
No, I think I'm just going to wear tidy whities, and I'm going to take Imodium so I don't have to poop. And I'm just going to eat light. I already started eating light.
You're going to
so I don't
die.
have a lot of poop in me. And I'm going to just be drinking, Dad will be drinking LCL and
oh yeah, Hans said it right. Nathan's going to do meth on the show.
Nope, never going to do that. I'm going to eat carrots and granola bars and light things just to keep me fueled as I do it. And I think I'll be fine bowel-wise. But if I have to whiz, I'm going to have a bucket or something I can just turn to the camera and whiz in that, and no one will see what's happening.
You should get some...
I don't think I'll have to poop or whiz.
You should, I say this seriously, you should get some liquid IV. Have you ever used that stuff?
No, I'm going to just use the Gatorade or LCL.
Well, liquid IV has it has some vitamins in it, but it also
has
like
I did a 12-hour and I only had like a couple Gatorades. It was like nothing.
I also think you should
just that much. Also, when you think about it, it's incredibly easy. I'm just gonna be standing there like this. Doesn't make you sweat. I can do this literally all day.
After 24 hours, it will be.
It does not. I promise you. This is not hard to just do this. I'm not sweating at all, and I never would. If I'm going like really, really hard, and I'm going like this, that would be hard. But this is literally just like standing still, according to me. This is just like, it's cheating. But that's what I'm going to have to do.
Hans, Nathan doesn't drink,
coffee.
He doesn't drink coffee.
I never had coffee, and I don't drink soda with caffeine. I'm not a caffeine person. I will be fine.
The only caffeinated thing
normally.
The only caffeinated thing that Nathan drinks is chai tea, and that's like lightly caffeinated. It's like very small.
Yeah, and I only have that every once in a while. So yeah, I'll be fine. No backflips. Nope. I'm saving myself for the dance.
Oh yeah, that's what you should do. 24 hours of backflips.
Right. If someone gave me $500,000, then I would.
That's easy. I'll go to the bank.
Not just 25,000, which
is what
I'm trying to raise.
Oh wait, I only have $5.
Yep.
I'll give you a check, post dated.
No, thank you.
Well, very fun first episode. Bob Lazar. I honestly feel like there's Bob's story is I do like Bob's story. I feel like we covered the major bases. I think if we ever had the opportunity to have him on, it would be super fun to interview him. So maybe if the show gets more popular, we'll eventually have the opportunity to interview him.
If you guys keep liking and keep donating, 4 likes away from 69. We still didn't even hit 69 likes. What a shame.
So close.
Bob's not coming on a show that doesn't have 69 likes.
No. Well, I mean, Bob. I think Bob is only going on shows that have like 10 billion likes. Unfortunately,
and they have an equal paycheck that comes along.
He's also I also get it. Bob's older. He's told this story a lot. I think he's only going to go on stuff now that
there's no reason
like
to talk about it over and over.
He has a pretty there is a really great documentary. Jeremy Corbell, also the director of the Bob Lazar doc, he has a really good documentary about skinwalkers as well.
Oh, we should watch that. I haven't seen that.
It's a good one. Yeah, I feel like we could. Maybe we could eventually reach out to Jeremy. He's all over social media.
He seems like he's down to do stuff.
He seems like a pretty interesting guy too, and that's what he does. He makes documentaries about like paranormal stuff. I think he'd be fun to have on.
We need to have like 1,000 people watching us in order to make that worth it for him. I think
he'd be talking about like whatever his next project is. I'm sure he would be like, I'm doing a project on ghosts or whatever, and like he needs to do something that's going to like help his brand.
Yeah. Well,
Which I also
thank you
get.
for watching, everyone. Thank you, Dragon Buddy. Thank you for liking.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll be back on Tuesday, and I'll hopefully see you on the Nathan YouTube and my Twitch for the 24-hour dance stream. Saturday.
I'll probably see everybody. Maybe if Nathan looks like he's dying, maybe I'll call into the dance stream to distract him.
I do want to try to have people call in because I don't want it to be boring, and I also mentally need to like be stimulated, I think. So I'll probably do calls with people as I'm dancing just to kind of keep myself sane and give people something to listen to. I don't know if I want to necessarily like watch videos and stuff, but maybe I might end up doing that when we hit hour 12 on the second half.
You could watch the Bob Lazar doc.
I could. Or I could just watch my old streams.
Or you could watch 24 hours of Yoda screaming.
Yeah. Something
you could do that.
With.
But everybody, please wish Nathan good luck. I hope everybody gives him support for the dad movie. I hope that everybody shows up. I hope everybody shows up to the dance stream. At least pop in and say you can do it.
Yes, please help me out.
He's gonna need it. That's a long time to dance.
And this will be the end of the long dancing. It'll end the whole thing. I did 1 hour straight, 4 hours straight, 10 hours straight, 12 hours straight, 24. I'm done.
I can't even stand up for 24 seconds. Yeah. You're gonna dance for 24 hours?
We'll get you there eventually.
Yeah, I gotta start. I have a bike. I have to start. I actually do need to start riding my bike again.
Yeah, do it.
But all right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for a great show, everybody. On this channel, Odd Boys, make sure tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your conspiracy-minded brother.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about this channel.
By. We appreciate you watching. Thank you for being the very first people to watch our show and our stream and being the people that get this off the ground. It's because of you we're here, so thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.